Greetings, gentlemen. Welcome into the stream. Do you know what? If you're not in England, you're gonna complain that the English always like to talk about the weather, and we do. It's true, but my God, is it cold? And you know, for 2 days in a row, I've woke up and there's been a blizzard, 3-4 inches of snow outside, rooftops covered in snow, coming down like it's Christmas Day when it used to snow on Christmas Day. And by 4 o'clock, we're basking in sunshine. Funny old weather we're having. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Let's hope it's a good one. I'm going to try and stay positive tonight because I'm really miserable. I'm sorry to say it, but I've been back 2 weeks tomorrow. I still don't have a date. I'm hoping this week. I'm constantly, for my house, I'm constantly hounding this solicitor. She's pretty good, actually. And she said to me at the beginning of this week, we'll have a date for you either later on in the week now or next week. But you know what? In all reality, I think it's going to happen around the end of February. If it doesn't, it's not a slam dunk deal yet. I hope if it fell through, God knows what. Oh my God. So I'll try and keep it positive, but I feel, really lousy about everything that's going on. The weather, the arguments, again, we're back to normal like before I went. And, but let's stop there and let's proceed in a positive way. So let's say hello to a few people. We've already got 169 in. I said to you last week, somebody said, why do you play a 3-minute intro when it gives people a chance to get their drinks, their cup of tea or whatever, and come on here. And by the time I start, I've got a decent crowd in rather than just bang, here we go. Right, so first up tonight, I'm going to say hi to Steve James. Hi, Pete. Yep, hi, Steve. Oh, let's just get these up while we're running. Yeah, there we go. The not too bad today, not too bad. Right, real Rennie. Good evening, Peter, and everybody at the stream. Looking forward to a great stream. Sitting in a hot apartment in Copacabana. Oh, you like to rub salt into our wounds, don't you? Real Rennie. Louis Leisure, getting some food and a couple of cans ready for the stream. Good stuff, Louis. I've got a list of people I'm going to say hello to. I do it old school, it's all written down on on a notepad there. Now, just before I forget, because I don't want to forget Noel. He hasn't been in the stream for a couple of weeks. He's had a problem finding them. Noel is the blind man who obviously he can't watch what's going on, but he likes to listen and he finds it quite entertaining. So, Noel, if you're out there at this stage, good evening to you, sir. I hope you're going to enjoy it. And if not, I'll give you a little mention later on, just in case you come in later. Okay. Right. Mark Front 2. I always say that wrong. Let me get it up there. Right. Mark. I am not gay. Well, that's good to know, Mark. But I love you, Peter. Okay, I see where you're coming from on that one. You bring me back down to sanity after a crazy week each way. Well, thank you, Mark. Good to have you in the stream. I see you later on in your comments. You were talking about Buddhism. That's quite an interesting subject. Does anyone here study Buddhism? I am really interested. I have been listening to Alan Watts' lectures on YouTube. I've not watched Alan Watts. I'm not really a religious man, but to be honest, I've got to stop saying to be honest. When you say to someone to be honest with you, it's almost like you normally lie, isn't it? I'm not a religious guy, but I guess if I was on a life raft in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean with nothing but a day's left of water, I would become religious pretty quick, I would imagine, as do most people. Brian Street, how you doing? Evening, Peter and chat, and hope all's well in your world. It's not, Brian. It's not. It's very not all right. But let's put that over to their side. I'll try and make it a good stream. I'm all set up. Look, I've got some beers, I've got some whiskey, I've got joke of the week, I've got something to talk about that I talked about last week that'll be interesting. I've got the Ladyboy competition and I've got Spot the Thai Girl. So let's hope it's a good one. Right, Louis Leisure. Yeah, exactly. I'm not religious, but always like the principles of Buddhism over any other religion since learning about it in school. Well, it's that calm way of doing things, and like the Thais, they go to the temple to make merit. We won't turn this into a religious stream, but if you don't know what make merit means, you can go on to Google and look at it. But it's something the Thais do. It's all tied into the Buddhist religion. Even I know that much. Mike Bench, what does it cost to get from the airport in Bangkok if I have to take a taxi? Well, I presume you mean not the Dongwang, the old one, the newish one that I can't pronounce. Not much, about anywhere between 1,100 baht, 1,400 baht. But why not take the bus? There's buses go every 30 minutes from the airport. I don't know what it costs from the airport, but from where I take the bus from off Sukhumvit on Edgermire, the northern bus terminal, cost me 131 baht in a blue air-conditioned bus. I made a video about it. That 1,000 baht that you'll save on the taxi, a couple of nights in a hotel if you're in a budget hotel, or it's a bar fight, isn't it? Look at it that way. Okay. Dutch Frank, how you doing? Good to have you in tonight. Steve James, yo. Scouse Andy 71. Hi, Peter and everyone. Well, I suppose if you're with a name like Scouse Andy, I'm guessing you're from Liverpool or the Liverpool area, and you must have been partying for the last week with that 7-0 win against Manchester United. I'm not a football fan. You know I'm not into football, but a win like that kind of is outstanding, isn't it? So even a non-footy, if you can call them one, like me, would notice something like that. Macmillion Nurse 1. Hello, Peter from Saudi Arabia. Please remember me when having a cold one tonight. Okay, you got it. We've remembered you. And Saudi Arabia, I think you can drink there, can't you? People have got this concept that if you're in the Middle East, you can't drink. I worked in the UAE for a number of years. Dubai, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi. They have bars in the hotels and stuff. I was there in the late 80s. It's going to be a lot more developed now. But even in Saudi, I remember I knew some guys who worked on oil rigs, and they could drink in compounds. You know, they kind of turned a blind eye if it was just only foreigners, you know. I won't get into it, but I was going to say something else about the locals, but I'll leave it at that. Right, Thailand fan. Hi, no snow here, much to my Tilak's disappointed. You know, when you show videos of, you know, obviously we've all got friends in Thailand, Thais and foreigners. And because when you come out of my house, I've got a nice pocket park in front of me. And all that separates the pocket park from my front door is a wooden fence of about 6 foot tall. You get the dog walkers through there. But when it rains, when it snows and the snow settles on the trees and the bushes, it looks like a chocolate box, you know, a Christmas scene from the top of a biscuit box or something like that. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. I should have uploaded it here tonight. And I send that, you know, there's a little pond in the middle, trees around. And of course, when I walk with Benji, and I filmed I wanted to send some people. I'm just laughing because I took a really good film. And at the end of it, I went down to Benji and he was having a crap. You know, I thought, oh, cheers. Thanks a lot, Benji. So I deleted it and did it again. But the point is, when you send a video like that over to the Thais, they're always the same reaction, like, oh, I want to touch it. I want to roll around it. And I'm like, it's not cotton wool. It's freezing snow, you know. Right. Mike Oxmells, is it? Hi all. Javier, how you doing? Good to have you in. Steve James, Peter, 9 p.m. next week. Sunday is a 9 p.m. streams, and I was thinking about the member streams. I've got quite a few new members now, not a huge amount, about 58 now. I think I'm going to leave it until about maybe early April. Hopefully I'll get up to near 100. I've cut all the expensive memberships out now. It's $4.99. That's it. I'm going to keep plugging it because I want to try and get some members in. And on a Friday and Sunday, it'll be an hour regular stream like this. I'll cut it. I'll come back after 15 minutes. It'll be a members only stream. I'll be bringing people in. It's like Andrew Hammond. He emailed me today. He was in India and he was planning to do a tour around India. And I won't say anything. I'll let Andrew tell you about it. But he got on a plane and went straight back to Bangkok. And he texted me from Sukhumvit tonight. And he said, it's good to be back home, sort of thing. So I wanted to bring him in tonight, but he's in a dormitory. You know, Andrew, he doesn't like spending too much money. And but I'll try it maybe Sunday, maybe bring him in and he can tell us about his adventures. But that's the whole point of the Sunday streams. Right, Mike, how you doing? Good evening, Peter. Just back in from the curry. Looking forward to the live stream. I hope all is well with you, especially with the horrible weather. Yeah, good to have you in, Mike. We're getting all starting to get to know people now. Look, let me just. There's a few people here that I just want to say hello to. Obviously, Noel, the blind man. I want to say hi to. Jess, who sent me a bag today, sent me an army duffel bag. That was very kind of him. Jeremy, who's also is having a curry in Cambridge. Martin Fenwick, who I communicate with quite often. Jesse in the States. I haven't forgot you, Jesse. And Eddie Ajam. Steve, I want to say hi to Steve, who just got back from Thailand yesterday. So he was basking in the sun. And he comes back to London and the trains aren't working. And he said, his exact words, it was a disgrace. Frankel's back on Tuesday. He's still washed up on a beach somewhere in Jomtien. And, of course, I want to say hi to Peter Capshuck. He's a very nice gentleman who bought me lunch a while ago. He always watches the streams and the videos. And, of course, a big hi to Bernie. And I've probably forgot a whole bunch of people, so don't get offended if I have. It's really hard trying to remember everybody and jot down the names. But anyway, let's move on. So, Mark Font, get some bar at the ATM first, okay? Mazza, good evening, gentlemen. Hi, Mazza, good to have you in. Richard O, good evening. Mike Bench, hoping to catch last train to Pattaya, Thai, but I land at 10 p.m. Yeah. When I'm in Thailand, I intend to do some train journeys because I do like trains. And what I like about some of the Thai trains is these old, it's almost like a throwback to the 50s. No, I don't want to go first class. I want to go third class, where you get the wooden bench, the windows are down, no aircon. It's like clunk, clunk, clunk. I love all that. You know, it's like bygone days. We've got Donald Trump in the house tonight. Hi, Peter, your local president in the house. Good evening, sir. Jan, is it Jan Mayers? Hello from London. How you doing, Jan? Recognise your picture there. Boohoo. Good to have you in. Ricky, I've got a sneaky feeling. I know what you mean by that. I know where that saying comes from, but I'm not going to get into somebody else's stream. But I do understand it completely. Tonto, evening, Pedro. Okay, Louis Leisure. Listen to most. Okay, that's something else there. Nick S, how you doing? Nino, hi. The real Dutch Farang. People saying hello. Thai Billy Boy, hi. I want to talk about some issues. What should we talk about tonight? Everyone's saying hi. Nobody asking any questions yet. Matthew Cartwright, good evening, Mongers. Right, here's one for you. See that picture behind me? Does anybody know where that is? You all know where it is. You've all been there. Where is that? It's not a competition. I just thought I'm going to change it in a minute. Where do you think that is? Let's have some right answers. Shane Old Traveller from down there in Australia. How you doing, Shane? Still driving those trams or buses? I think it's trams, you said. Good to have you in. Adrian Baker, morning, guys, from Sydney. George, how are you doing? We'll have to have another hot pot, George, when you get back. Right, Thailand fan. Peter, my Tilak was concerned about your snow video. She wants to know if you're okay. I'm okay, but I'm utterly depressed with the whole thing. I just want to get back. I'm paying. You see, when I was in Thailand, I was paying for my apartment, water, electric, all the rest of it, but I'm also paying the bills here. Mortgage, council tax, water. So I'm thinking to myself, it's psychological. I'm thinking, oh, shit, I'm paying all my bills in Thailand. I'm stuck in the UK, but it's the same as if I was there. The only difference is I'm here and it's so depressing. Bully Boy, evening, cold enough here? It's really cold. I said to you earlier, when I was walking down the garden from my house to Thailand bound HQ, I looked up and it was like just stars, not a cloud. And when there's no clouds, that's when you get the cold nights because all the heat dissipates. When you've got low-lying cloud, it keeps the heat in. I mean, it's not hot, but it doesn't get freezing. It's all stars above my house tonight, so it's going to be very, very cold. Right, say hi to, is it Mike Bench? Hello from dreary Illinois, USA. Hiya, Mike. Well, it can't be any more dreary than where we are. It's really dreary here. Michael DiCaprio. Hi, Peter. Nice short video in the snow. You won't get that in time. That's had a lot of viewings. I was surprised, actually. It's just held the camera up. It's had over 5,000 viewers. Do you know what? Some things in this country really make me angry now, and you can't do nothing about it. I don't want to turn it into a political rant, but I watch a lot of TikTok videos because they're only short and they're entertaining. You can sit on the toilet and watch them. You can make a cup of tea and watch them. Watch them anywhere. Red traffic lights shouldn't be on your phone, but you can watch the odd video. And there was some woman, she was some parliament member. I didn't get her name, but what she's trying to do is she wants to ban that kids from singing the national anthem in schools because it could affect other minorities. And I don't get into these discussions, but I was so angry when I read that. It's an interview with Piers Morgan, and Piers Morgan put her on the rails and basically said, why should we be ashamed to, sing a national anthem? Why should we, in America, all the kids sing the national anthem first thing in the morning? Why should British people be, ashamed to, why should we be banned from singing the national anthem? I mean, up north, in some of the towns up north, they're not allowed to put Christmas lights up in the streets anymore because it might offend other people who aren't Christians or whatever. It's bloody awful, this country. It really sucks. And like I said, I don't want to have a rant. I don't want to turn it into a political broadcast because I'm not an MP, but I just think it's gone too far. It's just gone too far now. You've got all these boats coming across, all these homeless English people, and charity begins at home, as they say. But I kind of feel sorry for my daughters who are here. They're young, they've got their whole lives ahead of them. What sort of a future have they got to look forward to? At least when I grew up, okay, we didn't have internet, we didn't have mobile phones, we didn't have lots of money, but it was England, it was a great country. Now I'm just so happy to get out of it. Rant of the day finished. Okay, Michael Ward, Swaddy Cub. Hello, Peter and everyone. That's from Pup Master C. Cousins, hey, from Dallas. I'm sure a lot of guys, just one last thing I'll say on that. I'm sure there's a lot of guys around the world, in certain parts of the world. I'm sure there's guys in America, guys in other parts of Europe, Australia, who are thinking the same way. If you say anything bad about something else, they'll call you a Nazi or something, and it's just gone. I just feel it's gone too far now, it really has. Right, Matthew Cartwright, a 4-hour stream. I doubt it, Matthew. I just get tired these days. Right, Right, Matthew. Hi, Peter. How do we really know you're in England? You could be in Thailand with a green screen. Good point. Good point. No, because it would. You know why? Because it would be 5 o'clock in the morning in Thailand now, and I wouldn't be drinking beer, and I wouldn't be so alive. You can see them. You know, if I just woke up and had a cup of coffee, I'd be like dreary, wouldn't I? And I don't speak this loud when I'm in my room in Thailand because, you know, neighbours and stuff. It doesn't matter here because I'm in a standalone building. And I have filmed in here because, you know, some people say, oh, look, when you leave film, I want to see where you are. So what I did, I came in the week and because everything's still here, I've kind of come from outside. I walked in, I filmed everything in here so you could see where I've been operating from. And then obviously, hopefully in a couple of weeks, we've got everything packed near enough now. I'll strip this out to an empty room and then I'll film it again. And, you know, you'll be quite surprised where I am actually. Nitban, why are you white? We'll get rid of that one. Okay, Bernie, how you doing? Bernie in the house and looking forward to a great stream. Your UK snowing versus Jumpty and Sunpine comparison was brilliant. I did give you a mention earlier, Bernie. I did read out a few names. Yours was one of them. Ellesmere, good evening. Oh, you're up early, Jason. Geezer's in Soy 8, I believe. Good morning, Peter and gang. Not happy to see the snow over there because I'm coming back next Wednesday after having 6 weeks of wonderful weather over here in Bangkok. Yeah, he calls himself Geese, but his name's Jason, and he's been a long time viewer of the channel. And you know, I meet these guys, I meet a lot of you guys, and sometimes I make friends with some guys. And it just happened that Jason was staying in Soy 8, pretty close to the Soy where I stay. And we met up, and I said, look, I walk in the park about 5:30. If you want to join me, you're welcome. And we had a few laps around the park. I showed him my favorite curry house off Sukhumvit, which is dirt cheap. And yeah, he's coming back on. Yeah, as it comes to an end, does it? Do you remember the video I did with Apple, the taxi driver? The thumbnail was titled "The Worst Thing About Thailand," and what I was basically saying is the worst thing about Thailand. It doesn't matter whether you book for 2 weeks, a month, 6 weeks, 6 months. The worst thing about Thailand is eventually you will be in that taxi, getting close to the airport with them humps under the road. You hear that bum 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 in the taxi, and you know there's that blue sign. You're on your way to gloom and misery. The only positive point, of course, is the sooner you get back, the sooner you come back again. Right. Thank you, Jeff Say. As always, something for the beverage fund. Thanks, Jeff. You do it most weeks, and much appreciated. Nice super chat there. Right. Okay. Who have we missed? Lots of people in tonight I haven't said hello to. Tron Roger, top of the class. Soy Cowboy. Yeah. If you look behind me, that's coming from, it's obviously taken from the BTS, but you know that really busy junction, the Asok junction. So that's the entrance to, why am I pointing like that? Hang on. It's really hard to do that way. That's the entrance to Soy Cowboy right there, I think. Or is it there? No, it is there. Yeah, I'll change that in a second. I don't know, well, you can't see, but my nails are starting to grow. I've always bitten my nails since I was a young child, and people told me about this stuff you can paint on your nails, and I thought, I'll give it a go. And I went to Tesco's and I bought their last bottle of it. It's called what's it called? It's got a good name actually. It's called this always happens to me. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, you paint it on your nails. It really does work because when you've been biting your nails as long as I have, totally off subject here, you forget. You just watch your TV and you start biting your nails. But of course, when you stick your fingers in your mouth, you got this horrible taste. Willpower in a bottle. That's what it's called. Willpower in a bottle. It's brilliant. About £4. Johnny, hi from Johnny. Guy Traveller. That's the street I got a ticket from the police in Pattaya. No, it's Asok, Soy Cowboy. Let's change it. Let's put something a bit more, a bit nicer on there. What should we have? We'll stay a little bit mild at the moment. We won't get too racy. There we are. A little Thai scene there. Girl cooking some chicken or something there. Well, I say girl, middle-aged woman, I suppose. Still very attractive. Right. Andrew's Real World. How you doing, Andrew? That's second row Pattaya. No, it isn't. I've already given the answer. It's Asok, and that was the entrance to Soy Cowboy there. The other guy got it right. Glad to have you in the stream, Andrew. I understand you're bunking in with some other people. I just mentioned about your trip in India. It would have been nice to get you in. Maybe if you can, it'd be nice to bring you in on Sunday. You can tell everybody what you experienced. Okay. And of course, it's quite early in Thailand at the moment, isn't it? And you had a few drinks last night, but welcome back to Sukhumvit, as they say. Okay, Richard O, do you ever pop into your local Thai restaurant for a bit of grub? Do I? Oh, my local Thai restaurant? Yeah, oh yeah, I do a lot. Sorry, you mean do I ever pop into the local Thai restaurant here? No, and I'll tell you why. I've been there a couple of times, and it's okay. there's nothing wrong with the food, but what they've done, they've adapted it to an English palate, and it's pretty. It looks like Thai food, but it just tastes. It's all right, you know, but it's not. When you've had real Thai food, it's just not the same. And you know, it's like any restaurant in the UK. They dampen it down for the English. One of the biggest problems I have is I like really spicy food. And I mean spicy to the point where I feel like my lips are going to explode. You know, they're tingling on my tongue, and I'm actually crying. I don't know. I must have a bit of sadism in me, but I like it. And one of the biggest problems I have is if I go to an Indian restaurant in anywhere in the UK or Bangladesh or whatever, I always say to them, look, I love spicy food. Don't hold back. Make it like you're going to make it for yourself. Oh, yeah, we'll make it very, very hot. And they bring it out with a big smile on their face, like, oh, you're going to enjoy this. And it's always mild to medium at best. And I say to them, I don't complain, but I say, look, you know, I wanted it spicy. This isn't spicy. You know, it's not spicy. And he said, oh, no problem. We'll chop some chilies up. You can put on top. But it's not the same. You have to cook it into the food, you know. And that's a problem I've always faced. When you're, you know, white British and you go into an Asian restaurant that serves spicy food, they just assume you can't eat spicy food. And it's actually very irritating. Right. Matthew Cartwright, sorry to hear you're not well. Who's that then? Who's not well? Oh, Clive, are you in, Clive? We wondered where you were because you were in love with some Filipino lady, weren't you? Right. It's not supposed to be exciting, Matthew. Matthew says, unfortunately, our national anthem is very boring. But it's a national anthem. It's not like, you know, it's not like in the charts for 10 weeks. It doesn't matter if it's boring. It's our national anthem, isn't it? We had it for years and years and years, 100 years or something. Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I don't care who gets offended. Peter, that's a serious Sukhumvit Road traffic jam at 7:15 p.m. Okay, so the junction at Sukhumvit Road has always been very, very busy. I was on the back of a motorbike just before I came back, and I'd gone to, where had I gone to? Stationery World or something. I had to get some office bits, and it just came to the junction at Assab, but they had to turn, the motorbike had to turn right onto Sukhumvit and head down towards Nana. And when we got there, we were first because the traffic lights just changed. You know, they take so long for them lights to change because it's a four-way system. And by the time it went, there must have been, I'm not joking, there must have been 80 to 100 motorbikes at the front with us. And those lights changed. And it was like being in the TT. You know, I was hanging on the back of this bike, the noise and the pollution from these motorbikes, but it was kind of quite exciting as well. You know, it's quite fun. Right. I understand at the moment the pollution in Bangkok and other parts of Thailand is very, very bad. I mean, what I'd say to you guys, when I was there walking along Sukhumvit, I wore a mask, nothing to do with COVID, but it is, you know, it is just so polluted now. In the old days, when I had my apartment, I used to have the windows open in the daytime. I was on one of the apartments. I was on Soy 24. I climatized. I'd have a fan going in the daytime, and I had the windows open because nice balcony, and you get a bit of a. It's not much of a breeze, but you climatize. I can't do it now because if you want to know how polluted Bangkok is, just get some. If you've got a balcony with tiles, just get a cup of water and pour it on the tiles, and you watch all them black dots appear. That's what you're breathing. You want to be wearing a mask when you're out. Paul Hoskins, we'll let that one go, but thank you. Michael Whittaker, how you doing, Michael? I was just, do you know what, Michael? I was looking, we're talking about memberships a lot at the moment because I don't know if you've seen the post, Michael, but I've abolished all the silver membership, gold membership, and the few gold members that I had, I've actually written a post out that said, look, guys, cancel your membership and join the cheapest one I've got because I just want to have one membership because I want to have a members stream. So I know you're one of the gold members. But as I was looking through it today, I realized you must have joined a hell of a long time because you were my second member. You're number 2. Frankel was number 3 and Damien was number 3. So top 3. So it was Frankel, you and Damien. So if you didn't read it, go off and cancel it, Michael. And if you don't mind, join as a bronze member and you'll get early videos. But more importantly, if you like the streams, I'm going to have a members only stream every week, maybe twice a week. But good to see you, Michael. Seamus, how are you doing? You should listen to Simon Webb. He has a YouTube channel called Debunked. He shines a light on a lot of issues you were talking about. Yeah, okay. I do watch some channels. I do. A lot of people hate Piers Morgan. I think he's very skilled at interviewing. I wouldn't say I like him. I don't dislike him, but he's very skilled. He doesn't let go of the question. You know, you get some right idiots around now, and he's very good at ripping them apart. Right, next, some in America, PPL, not like living in America, but they won't move. Okay. Thailand fan, are you in the shed, Peter? Yeah, kind of. It's not really a shed, but kind of. Yeah, you know where Thailand Band HQ. Right. I'll tell you what we'll do. We're half an hour in. Let's cheer ourselves up because we've been talking about doom and gloom. I'll just say hi to, before we do, I'll say hi to, I've lost him. I wanted to say hi to someone that I recognize, but I'll have to do it later. So I've been talking about all this political correctness and doom and gloom and snow and rubbish. And let's cheer ourselves up. Let's do the first of 2 showings of a brand new Monger Minute. Now that's better, isn't it? Right, okay, let's get into some serious comments now. Good evening, Steve. How are you? Yours travels. Peter, have you thought about buying a scooter in Thailand? I'm buying one in Krabi as rental for 2 months, 10,000 baht. Yeah, 100% I am going to get a scooter. I've even got my yellow, when I used to ride motorbikes here, I've got one of these, looks like a police vest. It's not a police vest. I'm just trying to decide which option I'm going to go for because I can buy a brand new Honda Click for 61,000 over there. That's about £1,500, and I own it. The tax is, I think, £400 a year, 400 baht a year from 7-Eleven. A little bit of insurance. It doesn't cost a lot. So that's one option. Then it's my bike. Or there's a guy I made a video about. He's an American guy. He rents out all sorts of motorbikes, not just scooters, but he'll do a good quality Honda Click. If you rent it for a year, you get 2 months off. If you rent it for 6 months, you get a month off. So basically, he charges 2,500 baht a month. But if you, like I said, I'd probably rent it for 6 months initially, which means I'd pay 5 months, which works out about 2,005. It's about £50 a month, very reasonable. But what I like about that idea over there's the thing is, right, Steve, there's good and bad for each point. So the good points about owning not right. Let me start the other way around. The thing, if I rent it from the American guy, the good point with him is if I break down or there's some issue with a bike or I was crazy enough to ride down to Pattaya and I broke down halfway down, he'll come in a truck and pick me up. He'll replace the bike. He'll pay for tires, everything. So I've got no issues like that. So if I was stranded somewhere, I just got to get on my mobile phone. He's he's American, right? So there's going to be no language issues. So break down on the phone. I've broken down. Here's my location. Okay, give me an hour. He'll put the bike in the pickup truck. Job done. That's the really good point. And that's the point that actually attracts me. Because at long term it would be more expensive. The bad point obviously is the cost, because it's a reasonable cost each month, but over the term of say 5 years, or 10 years even, it's going to add up, isn't it? Whereas opposed to if I buy my own brand new, and okay, once I've paid the £1,500, 61,000 baht, that's it. That bike belongs to me. It's brand new. I know where it's been, what it's done. No one else has ridden it, and it will last me a lot of years. And if I ever sold it, I'll probably get a good price back on it. I've got to tax it and insure it. But the bad point about that, I am a little bit paranoid about breaking down somewhere and being stuck. Maybe the solution would be for me to buy my own bike and then kind of find a service. I'm sure that they have everything in Thailand now. I'm sure there's a service that if you break down, you can call them up and they'll come to you and pick you up. Might cost a couple of thousand baht, to come out, pick you up, take you to a garage, and then you get a taxi home. that would probably be the ideal solution for me. But yeah, definitely, Steve. Okay, how many we got in now? Just over 300. If you just joined us, good to have you in. Best dressed man. Okay, should arrive Pattaya next Sunday around 1900. Looking forward to a soapy Sunday, then a carvery. Oh yeah, excellent, excellent. What you're looking forward to in the UK right now is a pot noodle and another dose of snow in the morning, probably. Right, Chris, will your video? Let's have a look. Will you video your flight home in business class? Interesting to see how it compares to the economy flight you had. Yeah, I mean, I did think about doing that because it's always, when you do something different, it's always a good excuse to make a video. And oh, I think I'm getting my daughter's cold here. Yeah, I think I will, because I did look on YouTube and people have, people have made videos on, business class and stuff. But, I haven't gone business class to Thailand before. I've always gone economy. And I think, yeah, it'd be interesting because it's not just, like I said to you last week, I'm going business class because I want to treat myself. Okay, I'm done and dusted in the UK. I don't want to be squeezed into like it was on the way out when I had that awful flight with the kids screaming next to me. And then I was put next to the toilets and I couldn't sleep and people were nudging me all night. I don't want that anymore, right? I want to get a business class. I've been, the price I got for end of this month, business class, one way, mind you, £1,600 on, that was Thai Airways. Eva Air were 2,050, so quite a bit more. But £1,600. I think I'm going to definitely treat myself. The other thing is, because I'm taking a lot more luggage with me than I normally do, because when I came back from Bangkok 2 weeks ago, I went out with 20 kilos. I came back with 7 kilos. I left a lot of it there because obviously I got my apartment there. And there's lots of little things that, you don't need to take a lot out to Thailand, but there's a lot of little things that, one or two books and some bits and pieces, some photographs that I want to take. So I bought this huge suitcase from Primark. It's like a wardrobe. But they allow you, Thai Airways allow you 40 kilos if you go business class. And if you weigh it before you go, the day before you go, and it's 50 kilos, I can't imagine it being 50, but you can go and buy 10 kilos a block. When you turn up at the airport and they say you're 10 kilos over, it costs this much per kilo. It's expensive, right? With Thai Airways, you can actually buy go up in 5 kilos, up to 50 kilos extra. So if you have 40 kilos in business class, in theory, you can go on with 90 kilos. That's a lot of weight, 90 kilos. But yeah, in answer to your question, why not? Why not? Might as well film. It's not just about the actual flight, is it? Because, I don't know if you know this, but when you go business class, obviously you've seen the counter, you've got economy and you've got business. There's never a queue at business. And then when you go through, when you have to take your belt off and your laptop and put it in a plastic thing and it's like a snake line, it's, hundreds of people there. Well, there's a different section for business class, and you just go through, and apparently there's 1 or 2 people max in there. And then you've got the airport lounge. When you come off at the other end, they put a red cross on your suitcase, so that comes out first. So there's lots of benefits, but of course you pay for it. Right, I think I'm way behind in the comments now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip forward to the latest ones and work my way back. Okay, so it won't mean anything. Right. Ken, how did Benji react to you seeing you again? It's like I said last week, it was like I'd never been away. Benji, kids, wife. It feels like I haven't been to Thailand. I was there for 5 months. And you know what? Let me have one last whinge before we get into the good stuff. I went through a year, 18 months of constant arguments, bickering with my kids, my wife. It's 3 against 1. They're 3 women. There's me on my own. I could never win. I was always stressed out and depressed about the whole, not depressed, but fed up, really. That's a better couple of words. I was fed up, and every day there was an issue, and, it's just horrible and stress, and I don't want to be here, and she don't want me to be here, and all this sort of stuff. I went to Thailand for a couple of months. I extended it to 5 months. After 6 weeks, it was literally, it's a saying that people say a lot, but it really did feel like this. It was like somebody took a millstone off my neck, okay? I remember coming out of my apartment one morning, and it was about 10 o'clock in the morning. I had to go and get some milk from 7-Eleven, and I was walking down the street. The sun was on my back. It wasn't yet too hot because it was December, I think, or was it? Yeah, end of December. So I come out of my apartment. I just had shorts on and a wife-beaten vest, and some sandals, no socks, not the slipping sandals, like not flip-flops, but kind of like rubber sandals. They're not sandals, rubber kind of shoes, very casual, pair of shorts, a vest, and some rubber shoes, sandal things, right? And Anyway, I was walking down the road, and the sun was on my back, and everybody was smiling, and I thought, the stress just lifted from me. It was like a dose of medicine, and here I am back here, and surprise, surprise, I'm stressed out again. I'm fed up. I can't wait to get back, and it's just, that's how it is, unfortunately, here. So I just need to get back. Right, okay. I said it wouldn't be a whinge, didn't I? Right, Best Dressed Man says, I love using the business class lane. Always use the finest smug face. Yeah, absolutely. I shan't be smug, but I will try and film it. Okay, Dutch Frank, isn't there always a kg limit per bag next to the total kg limit? Well, on business class, it's 40 kilos, but you can take 2 bags of 20 kilos and hand luggage. I think it's 15 kilos hand luggage, right? So you can do it in 2 ways. You can either take 2 suitcases with 20 kilos, or you can take 1 big bag of 40 kilos, which is what I'll do. But, to be honest with you, I think I've overdone it. I think I'll be lucky to get to 25 kilos because, I always, I'm one of those guys. If you've got to be at the airport 3 hours before it takes off, I'm there 4 hours before it takes off. That's just me. I'm always over prepared. Peter Parker, sliders, not sandals. Is that the official name for them, Peter? I've never heard that name before. Sliders, not sandals. Of course, the problem is when you buy these in Bangkok from any store, your heel is always like hanging off the end, isn't it? Because you can't get. I take size 12 myself. Right, exit to Thailand. Good day, Peter. Hope you're well. Are you planning on shipping belongings over or going minimalist? I'm doing the latter and selling or gifting most things here before we're moving. Yeah, I am actually going to go minimalist. That's a word and a half, isn't it, when you've had a few drinks? I've lost you. Where are you? Where's that comment? There we are. Was it that one? Yeah. Yeah. So, look, the thing is, you don't really need to take clothes and you can buy everything. Thailand's got everything there. So, the reason I might take as much as 40 kilos, which I doubt, is because I'm leaving the UK for the last time. Okay, I might come back in 20 years' time when I'm, infirm, or if I get cancer in 10 years' time and I need to use the NHS or so, yeah, I'll come back. I've left a footprint here so I don't lose my NHS entitlement after 6 months, so I'll be okay like that. And but yeah, no, I'll the brilliant thing about the UK, I'm quite a big guy. Okay, I'm about 6'1". I've got size 12 feet, and I find it very difficult to buy clothes in Thailand. And in fact, I've just been to see an Indian tailor I know to get a quote on 3 pairs of trousers and some shirts and stuff. Very good, about 200 quid for that, 3 pairs and 2 shirts. And but the great thing about the UK, I went into Tesco, £200. I came out with underwear, socks, vests, shorts, cargo. It's just so easy to get here. So I filled up on a lot of new stuff, trainers, ankle socks, both black and white, underwear, of course, double packs. So I've packed a lot of that. The other thing, when I went out 5 months ago, I couldn't remember what was easy to get and what wasn't easy to get as far as toiletries. So I went out with a lot of razor blades, shaving foam and all this, deodorants. And what I say to you, if you're going out long term, the only toiletry you need to worry about, and it's not a worry really, but what I would say stock up on if you can, is the aerosols, the underarm deodorant, because one, they're expensive in Bangkok. They've got one in 7-Eleven called Axe. It's a knockoff of Lynx. Okay, it's 179 baht, which is that's about £4. It's that size. And if you next time you go into 7-Eleven, you pick it up and shake it, it's like there's nothing in there. It's like a little bit of liquid, £4, right? Or you can get the rollerball, which is really sticky. So I go to one of these places like Home Bargains, and I get it's like Shaw or Gillette or something like that. The can's that tall, and I won't exaggerate. It was £1.70. They used to be £1, but everything's gone up. £1.70. But well, I went out to Thailand with 6 of those cans, and I've still got a full one unopened, right? And I was spraying all my legs and everything. So what I've done this time, I bought 8. I hope they'll let them on the plane, and I'm just going to use it for under my arms. I'm not going to spray my legs or anything, and that will last me. But you don't need to buy razor blades. I buy them 7-Eleven, 20 baht each, because the water's soft over there, not hard like here. You don't cut yourself. So razor blades are okay. If you put a bit of mousse in your hair, maybe you take that out with you. Soap you can get, toothpaste you can get, toothbrush, razors, everything you can get. It's just the deodorant, okay? Clothes, if you've got a small body, then yeah, you can get clothes. If you're, typical sort of English or American bigger guy, then it's very difficult to get clothes. I've got a saying which I hate over there, which is free size. Free size means one size fits all. And it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. You get some little Thai guy and some big American guy. That T-shirt's not going to fit them both. If it fits the American guy, it's going to be like a tent on the Thai guy, isn't it? And if it fits the Thai guy, it's going to be like a spandex stocking on the American guy. I'm not picking on Americans in particular. I'm just kind of saying. Right. Okay. Let's move on. Only in Thailand. Matthew, when you move hotels, can you pay cash? When I use Agoda, if you book with Agoda, you can pay in cash at a 7-Eleven. Not sure how it's done because my Thai girlfriend done it for me. Well, generally speaking, with Agoda, they have two options. You can either pay online there, and they'll tell you if it's refundable or not, or you can pay at the hotel. They give you. I've always had that choice. Yeah, that's a good point, Steve. Sun cream is far cheaper here in the UK. Yeah, and the thing is with sun cream, you've got to be very, very careful with sunscreen. And they sell one that hasn't got a certain chemical in it because they're trying to protect the coral. Just maybe I've said that wrong. They're trying to protect the environment. Let's say that, and they've kind of banned a lot of the sunscreen. So some of this suntan lotion that you bring from your country, it might be illegal to use, and they've got quite big fines. Now I can't right here, right now, I can't give you the details, but it's all available on Google. But they do sell a sun cream in Thailand that's perfectly okay to use on the beach. But a lot of the times, if you're putting suntan lotion on in front of Thais, they will react. You know, I've seen it. I've seen a girl like shouting that Falang putting us suntan lotion on. But yeah, you're right. It is very expensive. Mike Oxmells, Peter, with a majority of chat participants not being annoyed when you split the streams for members only. But that's the whole point of it, Mike, you see, because everybody else does it. And at the end of the day, a lot of the revenue that I now make on YouTube, it's not all about money. Of course it's not. But the money I get off YouTube helps me have a better lifestyle in Thailand. Now, a lot of my time, I'm not going to be laying on a beach doing nothing, right? Relaxing. I'm going to be out filming. Okay. So it's nice if you can make a little, you don't make huge money on YouTube unless you're got a massive following, you know, like, I don't know, 100, 200,000, you make a decent living, right? But I get enough money to make my lifestyle better in Thailand. So the whole point of the member stream, there's a couple of reasons. It's not just about money, okay? And I mean that. So when I do a stream like this, anybody can come in, anybody can say what they want. You get trolls, you get idiots who sling mud at you and say stupid things. So you're always on the lookout for them, right? You can't bring people into the stream because if you do, you run the risk of somebody you might not have seen so often comes in and splurts out something, swearing or something. And as soon as you block him, you think, well, he's gone. But then he immediately goes to YouTube and said, oh, I've just been on this stream and this guy's got somebody saying F off on it, you know, and then YouTube block you or ban you or something. So the whole point of the member streams is when you know that people have paid a fee to come into that stream as well as other benefits, right? You know that the chances of somebody coming in and kicking off is very much reduced, right? And the other thing is what I want to do, I want to bring people into the stream. So look, I'm looking at you guys there now. There's Steve. I think I've done a video with Steve. I'm sure I have. You know, Matthew's there and Mark's there and Mike, you know, all these names. Well, when somebody comes out with something interesting, I can say in a member stream, I can say, well, look, why don't you come in now and discuss it with me and we'll see what people say. And I can send them a link by email that they'll get in just a few seconds. They click on it and they're here on the stream. So yes, it will annoy people, but the way I look at it, it's a $5 a month, right? £5 a month, $6 a month. So, you know, I'll be doing 2 streams a week. That's 8 streams a month, 8 members streams of at least an hour, if not more. And also you get early access to the stories and stuff that on a Tuesday or Wednesday, as opposed to a Saturday. So for $5 a month, I mean, if you begrudge me that and you think I shouldn't do these streams, Nick Dean does them, Le Pub does them. I think most people do these private streams. So it's a good way for me to generate a bit more income, and it's a good way to be able to bring you guys in to make it more. I want to make it a bit more of a community, okay? So I've made my mind up now. That's what I'm going to do, and I'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, then I'll change back, but I don't think it won't work out because it works out for everybody else, okay? So that was quite a long explanation, but I hope you kind of, you know, understand what I was saying there. Steve, Matthew, my Thai girlfriend is really healthy and goes to the gym every day, so I will lose weight this next trip as I will be dragged to the gym every day when she finishes at the hotel. You know, I'm stupid. You know why? I need to go to a gym as well. And I went to the Landmark and they want like a 3,000 baht a month. It's a nice gym. It's a 5-star hotel. But at the end of the day, 3,000 baht is about £75, $80 a month. That's a lot for a gym membership. Then I went on to another one down the road. I won't name it because I'm going to slag it off, slate it. It was crap, rubbish. It's on 3-4 floors, and it just feels like a budget place, you know. And that wasn't cheap either. And then I thought to myself, hang on a minute, there's a gym in my apartment building. And the reason I wasn't keen on it was because it's normally empty and they don't put the air. It's got aircon, but you got to go and put it on. And I thought, well, hang on, they've got running machines there and a big mirror so you can look at yourself. And you know, I thought, well, it's free. So, okay, it's not the best in the world, but to go on a running machine for half an hour and get the old blood pumping, I've got the swimming pool there. I thought, why am I going outside to join a gym? There's no point, is there? I might as well, I might as well use the in-house one, as it were. Dale Frederick, Peter, why would you want British kids singing a national anthem that pays homage to a country that no longer exists in the sense that it does? Well, the simple answer to that, Dale, is because I'm proud to be English, even though the country's gone down the pan. And I think it's important to people of all ethnicity, I can't say the word, from all races then, to, you know, attach themselves to something that they can be proud of, right? And, you know, why should kids in our schools stop singing the national anthem just because other people don't like it? This is England, they're English, it's an English national anthem. It's been, you know, sung in schools for lots and lots of years. Just because somebody doesn't like it, why? If you don't like it, piss off. You know, what are you doing here, really? You know, I mean, I don't go to Thailand and tell them not to play the King's anthem, anthem at cinemas, or at 6 o'clock. I don't want to hear it. How long do you think I'd last if I went to Thailand and said that? You know, if they don't like it, you know, you don't have to be here, do you? Not you personally. I'm just saying. Right, Kelly, try to find a personal trainer who has just finished his uni degree in health. Usually it's very cheap. I don't really want a personal trainer. I'm 63 in April. I don't really want to do some massive workouts. All I want to do is get off the sofa and get some, you know, get the old blood pumping. I walk around the park every night at 5:30. I do 3 or 4 miles most nights. And I just want to do a bit of running as well. And it's a bit hot to run, I find, in Thailand. And I wanted to join a gym because it's the whole thing. It's not just the equipment, you know, that you can use the sauna. Obviously, there's no sauna in the apartment building, but I like the sauna. I like everything, the atmosphere in a gym. But yeah, I don't need a good advice, but I don't need a personal trainer. You know, I just want to, you know, get the old heart pumping, as it were. Hit that gym, Peter says, a Rizza man. Yeah, I will, definitely. I think it's important when you get older, you've got to watch your health. You know, the healthier you are, obviously the longer you're going to live, right? Right, okay. Let's see some of these we've missed. I'm just reading your comment, Kelly, from before. You put it earlier, didn't you? Camera perv. Okay. Very sensible. Utilize the amenities you're already paying for. Yeah. I tell you what put me off it. What do I call you, camera or perv? I tell you what actually put me off it is because, you know, when you go into a gym, they've got the air conditioning going. There's people working on weights over there. A few sexy ladies over there, you know, a bit of eye candy. And there's an atmosphere, isn't there? A lot of these condominiums, including mine, when you go into the gym, there's no one in there. You know, you got to go in, switch the aircon on, and there's just no one there. But, you know, on the other side of the coin, it's free, and they've got some very good equipment, some good running machines. So, you know, I can go up there, put my headphones on, stick the aircon on, have a half an hour fast jog, and then jump in the pool, have a shower, and then jump in the pool. They've got a shower there. And it's free, isn't it? Del Frederick, is it? Peter, why? Oh, I didn't like that comment. Right, I did address it though, didn't I? Adrian Baker, I think the member stream will be good. Looking forward to it. Yeah, and I think I'm going to start that realistically. I think I'm going to start it first week in April, which is about 2 weeks away, just over 2 weeks away. Is it? What's the date today? Yeah, just nearly 3 weeks away. I hope that I'll have a few more members. And I was looking today. I was surprised actually. I got nearly 60 now. But it's a £5 a month, $4.99. So hopefully, if I keep pushing it, not everybody agrees with it. People are like, well, YouTube, I like watching it for free, and why should I pay anything? And that's fair enough. People are entitled to that. But then, you know, you'll have to go and watch another stream, won't you? Mick Dean does it. You know, he'll be on for 45 minutes, an hour, and he'll say, well, that's it. We're going to go over to the member stream, and they run for hours. You know, and it's much more relaxed. You know, and I've heard, you know, they're putting the cameras on the girls, and he's smoking, and it's, you know, it's just, you haven't got strangers in there watching you, have you? All the members, you know them, most of them. We'll do a competition in 10 minutes. Let's just see what you lot are saying. Right, okay. So the Dutch Frank says, keep in mind the international luggage limit can be different from Thailand's islands luggage limit. Yeah, but the way you distinguish that, the way I've looked at it, if you go into the Thai Airways website, you get a chart, and they do it in zones. So you've got zone 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you have to match up your country. You know, they've got Australia, America, Europe, the UK, and depending on what zone it is how much you're paying, how much you can take, and you can see very clearly the domestic flights. You know, the like you're saying, the islands and stuff. It's completely different, and you'd have to be an idiot if you went to that page and you couldn't work it out. Then you shouldn't be flying because it's so easy. Right, only in Thailand. When you move home, okay, we've done that. Let's go back down then. Okay, I was catching up there. Right, Paul Strath, how you doing, Paul? Anybody else having issues posting a comment tonight? Has the banned world list been modified? A lot of comments coming in, Paul. I haven't banned you, that's for sure. I had this problem with who was it? I think it was Fake Ed and Dutch Farang. I think there's a few other people wrote to me and said, look, have you banned me? Have you, because I can't leave comments? And no, I mean, YouTube's really weird how it works. I mean, the other day, you know, that motorcycle video I did, it was up to 8,000 viewers. And then I looked at the next day, it said 3,400. I thought, well, what's happened there? I've lost like 4,000 viewers. And it's the same with the, you know, the comments and stuff like that. And a lot of the time, you know, I don't ban people as a rule. Even when people get a little bit, you know, obviously people come, it's mainly guys on here, and sometimes they've had a bit too much to drink later on in the stream and they start saying things they probably regret in the morning. I don't ban them. I realize you know, I do the same. I have a little bit too much to drink, and you know, I'll put them on a timeout for 5 minutes so they can't leave any comments for 5 minutes. But I don't the only people I block are people who come in and they'll say something like, I won't say it, but you know, they'll just come in and they don't know me or the stream. They just come in and say something really derogatory, which it doesn't mean anything, and I just block them because they shouldn't be in the stream. All right. Okay, Peter Cross. I won't read that out, but I just give his name as an example as somebody who does do it. Okay, to be not to be. The rule is 70% diet, 25% fitness. Yeah, I don't really follow any rules. I've got my own sort of way of doing things. You know, if I follow rules, I don't last at it because I give up, because when you have to follow it, when it's regimented, then I find it much more difficult. I do it how I want to do it. So I'll say, okay, well, I'll go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week between 5 and 7 o'clock. And it's not like, oh, I have to go on this machine at this time and do 15 minutes and I have to go here and I must make sure I have a swim 20 minutes before. No, I don't work like that, you know, and I generally can stick to it if I do it my own way. Right, no name, I'll just put that up. No name says, I see your messages, Paul. Okay. And just in case Noel, the blind man's coming late. Noel, if you're out there, I did give you a mention earlier, mate, but if you're out there listening, good to have you in, and I hope you enjoy the stream. Right, Rocky Mythjack, do you know the flight time from the US to Bangkok? Isn't it about 17, 18 hours? Because you've got to change, haven't you? It's not direct. I mean, we're very lucky in the UK. We can take off from London Heathrow. A direct flight, you'll be there 11 to 12 hours, depending on the wind, jet stream. It's normally about 11 hours out and 13 hours back. But I know in America, I know there is a direct flight from Canada now, isn't there? But generally speaking, when you come from any of the airports in America, it's quite a long haul because you change in Japan, I think, and it's another 7 hours from Japan. Don't quote me. I have spoken to people. It's a long haul. I mean, I think if I was coming from America, I'd definitely do business class. If I couldn't afford business class, I just wouldn't do it because it is a long stretch in an economy seat. Shane O'Traver says that's a pint glass. Okay, Shane. Yeah, Steve says, yes, a couple of my comments tonight haven't gone through YouTube's regulations. Well, in case they've really got tightened them up, I don't know, because normally what happens, if somebody puts a comment and there's a banned word or something they're not sure of, it will say to me here, it will say, this comment has been withheld. Do you want to approve it or block it? And I'll read it and it'll say, Peter's a fat git. And I'll approve it, right? Because somebody's joking. But I haven't had any of that tonight. I haven't had one message come up that said approve or deny, you know. Rocky Martin Jack, is it? Hi, how you doing? You're a member as well. Normally, if I get a few new members, 1 or 2 members, I roll them across the screen and say welcome. But you know, I've had so many over the last couple of weeks because I've done that cheaper one now. That would have to go for about 20 minutes before it read them all out. Okay, let me do this for you because this went down quite well. This is different from last week. That was a bit of a delay there, wasn't it? That last one's really funny. Is it? You got the 2 security guards sleeping there. Why risk your valuables? Okay, they're just for fun. They break up the stream a little bit. Okay, so I got a comment in this week from a guy called Nick that I want to read out to you, and I'll give you the backstory in this because this is a really good comment, and I didn't think about this, and when I read this comment, I thought, you know what, you're right. And what it is. Do you remember last week I was telling you about? I said I'd made a video at the Elim Festival, the Thai Elim Festival. So if you don't know what the Elim Festival is, it's a Thai ceremony. You get Thai food there, Thai dancers, everything Thai, sing a beer. It's a festival for Thai people. A lot of foreigners go there. A lot of Falang who are married to Thais or with Thai girlfriends go there. And it's a good day out, actually. It's on Elim Common. I was invited down there by a viewer. Said, why don't you come down and film it? I thought, yeah, I will. And there's thousands of Thais there in central London, okay? And, you know, you're walking about and you feel like you're in Thailand because you're looking at Thai faces. And the comment I'd made last week, I said, you know what's really strange? When you're in Thailand and you smile at anybody, most of the time they smile back at you. It's very rare if you give a direct smile to somebody, guy or girl, that they don't smile. And the comment I made last week, I said, you know, I think they start to get westernized when they get here because Thai people in London, they don't smile back at you, most of them anyway. The ones I went to talk to, like there was a lady had a massage shop and she was promoting her massage shop, £30 per half hour massage. You work that out. Yeah, she was smiling and talking to me. But when I was walking around, you know, I felt like I'm in Thailand. I was smiling at some girls coming by, some guys, whatever, Thai groups, and they just looked away. They ignored me. And I thought, and I made this comment last week, and I said, you know, when they come here, they seem to get westernized and they become not quite as nice as when you see them in Thailand. So this guy, Nick, wrote this comment to me yesterday or today, I can't remember. I read this and I thought, yeah, you're absolutely right. It makes total sense. So let me read the comment out to you. And I think you'll agree with what he's saying. So he says, hi, Peter. This isn't a story, but on the last stream, you were talking about how Thais in the UK don't smile back like they do in Thailand and don't seem as friendly either. So I dated a few Thai girls because I lived near Thai town in LA when I was younger. There was a few times one of my girlfriends would call me to come down to the bus stop because they felt like they were being pressured I'll say to make love, you know what I mean, right? My ex had to tell a friend to stop smiling at men at the bus stop because they thought it meant the Thai women were interested in them, and very rarely are Thai women interested in highly tattooed, loud and aggressive men. Another situation I had to diffuse is there was an older guy who would drive around Thai town asking Asian girls if they wanted to share his money with him. He would if they got in the car. My guess would be that it's the same in the UK. The similar things happen, and that would dissuade the women from being friendly because they cannot tell who are safe and who isn't. And I thought, yeah, brilliant comment. And when you think about it, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because, you know, in Thailand, when, especially in the tourist areas, the girls and the locals, because they deal with Thais all the time, they're, thank you, Mark, for joining as a new member, by the way. Great. You will be in the member stream. We'll bring you in one day. You know, when you think about it, when you walk around Sukhumvit or Pattaya, wherever you are, and you smile at Thais, they smile back at you because they know you foreigners, you know, that everyone's in a good mood when they're on vacation. So they smile back, right? It's business at the end of the day. But when you think about it, if, you know, I'm getting on a bit now, but when I was younger, you know, if I was another new member, thank you very much. Good. Get you guys in for the member stream. Detroit Dan became a member. Good stuff. Right. I'll get this out in a minute. You know, when I was younger, you know, and I was trying to pick up girls, I'm talking sort of 25, 20 to 30, whatever. Was it that? Yeah, 21 to, you know, 20. Them years when you're out, you're like a horse at the stable ready to bolt. You know, and I was always on the lookout for girls. And if I've seen a pretty girl and she was kind of looking at me, I'd wink at her or I'd smile at her, you know, and they'd look away like they do in the UK. And if you got the odd one, which I did, you know, sometimes I was successful, and one would smile back at me and I'd catch a conversation with her and we'd go for a coffee and the rest is history, as they say. But if you think about it, Thai women, you know, a lot of guys have got this false impression about all Thai girls being easy to bed, which, you know, isn't true. You know, you're talking bar girls and go-go dancers and then regular girls, and they're actually their family values are very strict, actually. And if you think about it, a Thai girl standing at a bus stop in the UK, some guy of about 25, 30 comes along, smiles at her, and she smiles back. What's he going to think? He's going to approach her. He's not going to leave her alone. And it makes perfect sense why these girls are not smiling back at the guys, you know. So, yeah, that woke me up to the fact. So the next time I'm at a Thai festival and nobody smiles back at me, I'll think, fair enough. I'm not trying to pick you up, but I understand why. So thank you, Nick, for that. Right, okay, a couple of new members there. That's good. I am trying to drum up business for this membership because I'll tell you what I'm a little bit afraid of. I'm afraid of I'll do a member stream and there's like 3 people in it. I mean, I can talk for a couple of hours with all you guys here. There's almost 400 in now, 355. So there's always interesting comments to feed off. But, you know, if I get like 10 guys in, it's going to be tough. Right. Paul Scarth, I work in our local uni. Our home students look at you like some perv. If you smile, say hello to them. Our international students have the manners to smile, say hello. Yeah, you got to. It's so politically correct in the UK now. I suppose it is in a lot of the other parts of the world. It's like, you know, I've got 2 daughters. I'm by no means a perv. I mean that honestly. But I've got 2 daughters. You know, one's 21, one's 25. And, you know, obviously they bring their friends around. My elder daughter doesn't live at home anymore, but they bring their friends around. And I'm very friendly to them in a dad kind of way, you know. So if my daughter brings a friend around, I'll say, hello there, what's your name? I haven't seen you before. And I'll get a little bit, I'm trying to relax them so they feel comfortable to come around here, you know. But there was 1 or 2 occasions where my daughter was like, Dad, you're embarrassing. And I'm like, what? I just said hello to your friend. Wouldn't it be more embarrassing if I totally ignored her? You know, you can't win when you're a dad. Right, okay. Robert Pilling, is it? He's dead right, Peter. Who's that, Robert? A bit behind here. If I miss your comments, guys, don't get offended because I'm kind of having to whiz to the later ones. Andrew Hammond said to me, he said, by the time you read out my comment, it doesn't make any sense because it was half an hour after I left it. Okay, here's one. Eric the Elephant, saw a video earlier today of yours called Ruthless Thai Bar Girl Scammer. It was a really good story. I probably won't view your channel again unless I randomly come across it, but that video was genius. There's a lot of those, a lot of those videos, the story videos. That's what they're about. It's about guys who go out to Thailand, fall in love with the wrong sort of girls, and unfortunately end up in a bad way. Some worse than others. That's been my bread and butter on this channel. Other people doing it now. Okay, Peter Parker. Night, Peter. Early start. We'll watch the rest of the stream tomorrow. All right, Peter. No problem. And I'm on the Cronenbergs now. Okay. Right, Pupmaster One. I bet Thai ladyboys always smile in the UK. I know you're joking, but there was a hell of a lot of ladyboys at the Ealing Thai Festival, and they had a ladyboy show where they were singing and miming. And actually, I filmed a bit of it, but I had to edit it out in YouTube. You know why, don't you? Because they were miming to songs. Tina Turner, "You're Simply the Best," and all that. And I didn't think nothing of it. You see these Thai ladyboys in London singing and miming with all the wigs and the makeup. I'm like, oh, people will find this interesting. I filmed it. And that's why that video was so short. It was only 10 minutes long, but the original was about 20 minutes long. And YouTube just like, no, rap on the knuckles. And I had to edit all that out, which I was pissed off about again. Right. Peter McDougall, is it? I've said that wrong. Peter McDowell, I think. Did you mention you worked in Top 10 Club in Orchard Road? Once went on ladies' night. Well, I actually managed that for a very short time. It was really weird because, you know, my background is hotels. And I think where I was in Beijing, China, and I'd left Accor, the company. I used to work for Accor. They managed Sofitel, Ibis, Novotel, all that sort of thing. And I was with them for years, working out of Bangkok, all over the Far East. And I'd left them because I got a really good offer by a company in, I don't want to name them, but they were in Beijing. And I went to work for them for a year. And then that finished and the promises didn't really pan out. And I was kind of unemployed. I must have been about, how old was I? I must have been about 30 because it was just before I went to Thailand. And what happened, I was working for this hotel in Beijing, and that come to an end after about a year, and the promises hadn't panned out. And in those days, if you were already in Asia, because it's not like now where you got thousands of foreigners out there, I'm talking 30 years ago, if you were employed by a company, other companies always tried to poach you because they could save on a lot of the expenses of getting you out there. And what happened was I'd finished in Beijing, and I don't know why, I can't remember the reason, but I went to Singapore because I thought, well, I'm not working now. I had quite a bit of savings, and I thought, well, I don't want to stay in China on my own back. You know, I'll go somewhere else. And I don't know why, I just picked Singapore. And I got talking to some guy in a bar, and they were looking for a manager in Top 10, as you say. And yeah, it was only for about 6 months, but Orchard Tower, it's 4 floors of ladies' night, you know what I mean? And Top 10 was a converted cinema on tiers. And yeah, I got the job of managing that for about, I left, I didn't get sacked or anything. After 6 months, I then got back into the hotel industry. And I think I went to I went from there to the Taj Mahal Hotel in Bombay, which is now called Mumbai. I worked there for a year. And then I went to Thailand in 1991. And that's where I was part of the opening team, the management team who opened the Sofitel up in Khon Kaen. I was there for 2 years as a pre-build, and then we did the opening, and then I was there for about another 6 months, and then they've changed it now. It's not a Sofitel. I think it's a Portman or something like that. But in answer to your question, that's a very, very long answer to say yes. Okay. Right. All right. Let's, Kevin Mag, thank you, mate. Have a couple on me. Cheers. I'll do that one for you, Peter. Kevin, all the best, mate. Oh, yeah. Lovely. Randy, how you doing? Long time member, actually, Randy. Hello, Peter. Late to the party today. Hope everything is going well with the house closing. Looking forward to seeing new vid from Bangkok. Randy, you're one of those gold members. I'm going to say it really quick because I don't want to bore everybody in here. I'm discontinuing the gold members. I'm putting everybody on the bronze membership, which is $4.99 a month, because I want to have more members sessions for different things. So if you didn't see the post, go ahead and cancel your gold membership and then re-sign up on the bronze. That's the only one there is now. It's about a third of the price. And then if you want to come into the member streams later on, okay, you've probably seen it, but just reiterating it in case you didn't. Right, I think we'll do a competition now, just to break it up a little bit. Have we done the Monger minute? We have. We'll do it again later. Let's do Spot the Thai Girl. Right, you know the drill. There's 8 pictures of Asian girls. Only one of them is from Thailand. And the idea is I want to know which number. I know, but I want you to tell me which number. The only one girl who is from Thailand. Okay, just before I go through and see who's right and who's wrong, just want to say thank you to Rumble for joining again. I know you've been in lots of streams. You've been looking for a long time. Good to have you in, because I'm glad you'll be in the member streams in April. Okay, right. Let's start off with the first wrong answer. Paul Hoskins, number 9. There's only 8 of them, Paul. Matthew Cartwright, no. Alex Cole, no. Original F, no. Richard Woolley, no. Remember, we're looking for the one Thai girl, yeah? Max Veit, no. How you doing, Max? I do get your messages sometimes. I remember who you are. Only in Thailand, no. Jeff Say, well done. The first right answer. El Terrifical, no. Shaggy Rogers, no. Joyous Roma, no. Deke the Trucker, how you doing, Deke? No. Brian, no. Have you ever got a right answer, Brian? I'm going to phone you up one day and give you an answer. Nick S, no. George, no. Charlie Stewart, no. Kelly Hartnett, no. Ty Billy Boy, well done. That's two right answers so far. No Name, no. John Quayle, no. Graham Hawkins, no. Mike Oxmells, no. More done like, yeah, well done to you. Jolly Fox, no. Good to have you in, Jolly Fox. Haven't seen you for a while. Pardon my French, no. Red Pill Denmark, well done. To be, not to be, no. Tom, no. Javir, no. Kelly Harnett, 6. Tongue tied now, no. Chris, no. Blue Trekker, no. Hi, Michael DiCaprio. Mark, no. Not this night time. Adrian Baker, no. Steve, no. In Thailand Until I Die, no. Evasions, no. Steve Hayes, yes. Podmeister General, yes. Popmaster, no. Matthew, Whiskey Break Peter, not yet, but we're all signed up for later on, Matthew. Thailand Clucker, yeah, you got it right. David Hasselberg, no. Kelly, another wrong answer again. Agin, no. Mike Braithwaite, no. Matthew, no. Christopher Tate, no. El Terrifical, no. Stephen Hayes, yes. Damon, how you doing? Good to have you in the stream. I was wondering. No. Randy, PA Comanche, no. Fat, yes, no. Tony, 7682, no. Dave Stewart, no. I can't even pronounce that name, but it isn't 7. Right, M&G, no. Simon Hawkins, right. I'll do as I always do. I'm just going to read out the right answers now, so we'll be here all night. Shane, well done, mate. You got it right. Any more? Raise D, you got it right. Moldy Genie, is it? You got it right. Kevin Mag, you got it right. The Real Dutch Farang, yes. Just bypassing all the wrong ones now. How you doing, Bernie? Right, okay, let me put you out your misery. Here is the real Thai girl. And just quickly, in case you're wondering, no, it's not a ladyboy. There you go. Well done to everybody who got it right. Okay, let's get the cringe of the week out of the way, or should I say the joke of the week. Let's get this out of the way now. A lady, I was going to stop these, by the way, and a couple of guys said, no, there's no harm in it. Tell the joke. If it's not funny, it doesn't matter. See what you think of this one. A lady goes to the doctors and complains that her husband is losing interest in lovemaking. The doctor gives her a pill, but he warns her that it's still experimental. He tells her to slip it into his mashed potatoes at dinner time. So that night, she does just that. About a week later, she's back at the doctor's where she says, Doc, the pill worked great. I put it in his potatoes, like you said. It wasn't 5 minutes later that he jumped up, raked all the food and dishes onto the floor, grabbed me, ripped my clothes off, and he ravaged me right there on the table. The doctor says, I'm really sorry. We didn't realize the pill was that strong. The foundation will be glad to pay for any damages. No, it's okay, she says. We're never going back to that restaurant anyway. Okay, thank you, ladies. Right, okay. We've still got the Ladyboy competition to come up a bit later, and the Monger minute right at the end again. Deke. Okay, my new favorite is number 1. Okay. Do you know, I actually had a Thai girl contact me. A lot of guys ask me where I get the images for the thumbnails, and the backdrops there, because then a lot of them aren't your usual. Oh, the beer gets me burping like crazy. That's it. I think it's all gone. Yeah, it's gone. I just suffer from gas when I drink beer. So, you know, the pictures that I put on the thumbnails, a lot of people say, oh, it's clickbait, you're just doing clickbait. But, you know, who doesn't like to look at eye candy? So I always put a pretty lady on all the thumbnails of any video I do, you know that. And in the backdrops like this one here, I don't usually go for temples or floating markets or whatever. You know, I like these sort of pictures. They're nice. And a lot of people ask me, say, where do you get your pictures from? And I get them from all various sources. What I don't do, and you might not believe this, but what I don't do, I don't simply go onto Google, put sexy lady, right click it and save it, because you wouldn't last 2 minutes on YouTube if you did that. One or two guys might get away with it, but I've got probably hundreds of images and I would have been chucked off by now. So I can't tell you exactly where I would get my images from, but I get them from all different sources. Some of the good ones I pay for, I'll buy a memory stick of somebody, or I'll get licensed pictures that I can use. And then what I do, I might cut away the backgrounds and stuff like that. But obviously I get a few rogue ones as well, because believe it or not, I had a live stream where I had a picture of two beautiful girls in the background, and a girl wrote to me and she says, hey, you've taken my picture from my Facebook page. You better get it down or I'm going to report you to the police. And I was like, what? I bought it. Anyway, I wrote back to her. She's really nice in the end. And I said, look, I didn't steal your picture off Facebook. I don't even know who your Facebook is. And I told her where I got the image. Okay, I'll tell you, but without giving too much away. It was from a nightclub in Bangkok that said I could use the image. Now, obviously, she was at this nightclub. And, but I was, you know, I said to her, I said, look, I'm really sorry. Absolutely, if you don't like that picture, I'll take it down. I took it down, and that was the end of it. And I actually said to her, I said, look, you know, I'll give you something for your troubles, a little bit compensation. And she actually wrote back to me and said, look, I don't need anything from you. I just didn't want my picture to be up there because I went out for a good night out, and you know, and I was innocent on it. I really was. But so I'm trying not to put too many pictures up now of non-bar girls, because the non-bar girls don't seem to mind so much. But when you get like normal girls who are just at a nightclub or something, then you know, you can come up with stuff. But like I say, most of mine are licensed, or I buy them. I don't steal them. So that's the first time in probably 3 years, and I've used hundreds of images. You know, the only other time I had a problem was with YouTube itself. I had a picture of a girl sitting on the side of a swimming pool, and you could see the side of her hair. Right, you couldn't see all of it, just the side kind of reflection. And YouTube wrote to me and said, no, that's ridiculous. Take it down. Took it down, and you can appeal it. And I appealed it. I said, well, it's what you could see on the beach. They're like, no. They just seem to be really anti-women, you know, and it's frustrating. Okay, Wes, how you doing, Wes? Thank you, mate. Good morning, all slept in. LOL. Yeah, early morning in Australia. Thanks for the beers there. Yeah, Mark, Facebook is public. Yeah, but I guess, yeah, I don't think you're supposed to take pictures off Facebook and then use them on a channel like this, you know. But again, you might not believe it. I actually didn't steal her image. So somebody must have took it from her Facebook page, used it, and then by the time it got down the line, I was allowed to use it, but actually I wasn't. But no harm done. I mean, she contacted me and I was like, yeah, absolutely. You know, I apologize. It was done in innocence, took it down, and she was fine about it. She wasn't trying to scam me or anything. Okay, Mike. Peter, what UK time will the streams be when you're back in the UK? Well, there won't be UK streams because I'll be back in Bangkok, right? I had to get that one in. No, I'm not sure. You know, you know, honestly speaking, I really like doing 10 o'clock on a Friday night, 9 p.m. on a Sunday night. It feels right for me. It feels a good time to do this stream. There's lots of streamers out there. There's a guy, I won't mention his name. He does them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every night of the week. There's some guys in Pattaya who do them on Sunday. Buzzin does them Sunday morning. Nick Dean in the afternoon. So I've purposely, when I decided to do these, I did them later in the day, like this sort of time at night, because I knew nobody else would be doing one. I didn't want to conflict with other people, not because I thought, you know, everybody will go and watch their stream and not watch mine. It wasn't for that. It was just that I thought, well, it's not a good idea. So if there's somebody else who's got a stream on, let him do his stream, and when he's finished, I'll, you know, and so it really suits me well this time, and I seem to get good numbers in. But the problem is in Thailand, you're on a totally different time rate, 7 hours difference. So I can't get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do a stream, because even if I did get up and do a stream at 5, Trevor's done it. I've seen Trevor do a stream at 10 o'clock on a at night because it's 5 o'clock in the morning. He wakes up early and he's in his kitchen, but you don't get, no criticism to him, but you don't get that same kind of enthusiasm. You know, when you're having a few beers, a bit of whiskey, ladyboy competition, whatever, you know, there's a bit of atmosphere. But when you do it and you just woke up and you got a coffee, so again, a long way to answer someone. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to think it out. But I'll tell you what really surprised me was when I was on Jumpteam Beach. It was must have been about 3 in the afternoon. I thought I'll do a stream. I'll just set the camera up. I have my tripod. I was on the beach and I thought I'll set it up, and I thought I'll probably get 50 people in if I'm lucky. You know, maybe a few people from Australia. I had 200 people in for a full 2 hours, and it was so casual, and there was things going on behind me, people walking behind me on the beach, and you had the atmosphere of Jumpteam Beach. It was really good. So I like to go to Jumpteam and sit on the beach quite often. So I think I'll do one from there every time I'm down there in the afternoon. You know, you can always rewatch them, but the problem when you rewatch them, it's not the same, is it? Because you're not in the chat, as it were. Okay, right, Matthew. An evil piece of my hopes your house doesn't go through, so we can continue with these late night streams. Oh, don't say that, please, Matthew. It's like, you know, again about my house. It's not a done deal. Okay, I mean, I doubt it would fall through now because my buyer has never been a problem. Okay, he's paid for his conveyances, he's paid for his solicitor. There are a couple of teachers, they've got kids. They like our house. I looked at a lot of houses. He really wants to move here, you know, so there's never been a problem with him. The guy who's buying his apartment is a cash buyer. When I say cash, he hasn't got one to sell. But the reason it's been delayed is because he changed his mortgage. He's obviously got a better deal. And what's frustrating now is I'm waiting for a date when we exchange. Once we've exchanged, legally, he can't pull out, and I can't say, I've changed my mind, I don't want to sell my house. Not that I would do. But it'll give me that peace of mind, like, okay, we're now on our way now. We've exchanged. Give it another week. I found a company that's going to move all my wife's stuff. They're going to get rid of all our rubbish. They've been packing boxes. I mean, they must have, I'm not exaggerating, there must be 70 to 80 boxes. You know, you can't really tell on here, but, you know, with all their clothes and shoes. Most of the kitchen stuff has disappeared now. I went to have some scrambled eggs yesterday. I couldn't find a spatula. I was like, where's the spatula? Oh, I packed it. And I said, well, we're still living here. You know, what do you want me to do? Like, use my fingers. Anyway, another argument. So we're nearly there now. We're 90% packed up. You know, obviously Franco's coming back on Tuesday. So when I go, I'm going to strip this down. I'm going to give Franco a few bits and pieces out of here because I haven't been able to sell them, but they're too good to throw away, like my scanner, my printer. No, my printer's going to my daughter. You know, some various bits and pieces. So we're nearly there, but it's the most frustrating thing for me is I don't have a date. Okay, I've been here 2 weeks tomorrow. I could have spent that time in Bangkok, okay, but I didn't know. If I get a date this week and she says we're going to exchange next week and we're going to complete the week after, then I'm on a home run. And it'll go through a process. Everything's been arranged. All the money's been sorted out. I know how much is coming here, what's going to the wife and everything. I've got my life in Thailand. The van will turn up. They'll load it all up. She'll go to her new house. I'm going straight to Heathrow. The day I move out, they come out 7:45 in the morning. They load the van up. She's got her new house, right? They'll drive off, okay? I'll have a taxi turn up here at midday. I'll go straight down to Heathrow. And if I can, I'll be on the 9:30 flight out of Heathrow on the day that I was packing here. And if I can't, I'm going to check into a real nice hotel on Bath Road, something like the Hilton or the Sofitel, or it's not that dear, about £100. I'll have a couple of nights, 2-3 nights, and then I'll get the first available flight, and then that is it. I am Mr. Thailand. Then I'm not coming back here. But it's just really frustrating waiting. You know, it's going to happen hopefully, but I can't rush it, unfortunately. Okay, right. Mark says just walk away from the 70 or 80 boxes. Well, actually, Damien said that to me last week, and I tried to explain to Damien. I don't really need to be here. Everything can be done with solicitors. And everything's sorted out now. I could give £1,000 to some couple of guys to help my wife move at the end of it. It's not about the money, but I need some closure in this part of my life. And I've been in a marriage for 33 years. I've lived in this house for 18 years. I've had lots of trips to Thailand, and I've got this psychological block in my head that when I go, if I don't see that this place has got to be emptied, I've got to be standing in this house with no furniture and watch my wife and kid drive away in a van and be left here on my own. It'll be really sad. I'm going to feel really, a lot of memories are going to flood back, but everything will be empty. I'll lock the door and that'll be it, right? And I need that to turn the page and move on to the next chapter in my life. Because if I just walk away as is, and I'm in Thailand, psychologically, I can get on a plane and come back and my wife and kids still here, my furniture's still here. I've got to see them go. I've got to see this house empty. I've got to close the door, as sad as it is, and say, that is it. It's a done deal. Go straight down to the airport. It's going to be bloody awful, guys. I tell you, it really is. You know, just thinking about it makes me kind of give me the jitters. But I've got to see that scene to move on. Once I see that, as sad as it is, when I get to Thailand, I know that's all gone, and I now start a new chapter in my life, right? And it's got to be done like that. That's my way of doing it anyway. Right, to be not sad. Why is your comment not coming up? Right, to be sounds so sad, really. Life is sad, isn't it? But you've got to move on. You know, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's sad for anybody who splits up. You know, the good thing is I don't have young children. They've grown up now. My daughter's got a bachelor's degree, my youngest one. My oldest one has got her own business. My wife's got a good full-time job. Her house is paid for virtually. And, you know, I've still got my health. I've got my life in Thailand. So it's not all doom and gloom. There's guys in my position who haven't got a penny to rub to their name. They end up living in a bed sit somewhere, one room, you know, totally depressed. They've got no money to do anything. They can't go to Thailand. They got some job, you know, maybe driving a van up the motorway every day for minimal wage. And they're the people I feel sorry for. You know, I'm in a good position. Right, innovations. That's life. A week or two here or there is frustrating, but in the scheme of things, it comes to an eventual end, and better things come. Things to those. Think of those of us who are still behind you. Yeah, yeah. But you know, like Simon, my friend, said to me, because I've had this situation ongoing for years now, and my wife and myself have kind of lived separate lives under the same roof. And Simon said to me, kind of 5 years ago, he said, "You should just, you know, you should just come out here now. It's time to come out here." And I was like, "No, you know, I've been at that time married 27 years. I want to try and work it out." And he said, "I'm telling you, I don't want to say I told you so, but you'll be in that position in 5 years, 10 years, and you'll be another 5 years older, another 10 years." And he's right. I'm going out at 62, 63. Right. PA Comanche, I cancelled, but will not let me sign up for new membership. Maybe this one needs to expire. Yeah, I think the membership you're on runs to a certain date next month. So maybe give it a couple of weeks, Randy, and try it. I'd like to have you in the member stream from time to time when we do the member streams. Okay. Mark, got it. Peter, understood. Steve, lots of comments from you as always. Peter, if you book the plane ticket within a few days of leaving, won't be really pricey. Well, that's what I intend to do. I tend to, if they give me the date and say, okay, you're next Friday, for instance, and I'll book it on the Wednesday, something like that, because you know they want to fill up those last few seats, don't they? I don't know if business class fills up really quick or not. Okay, I got hot all of a sudden. Right, McKay, you're brave to open this new chapter, Peter. Will you be keeping us updated on your possible dating in Thailand, or keeping in private? Love and support from Dublin. Okay, well let me tell you one thing. If I do, I don't plan. I'm not gonna do mongering, definitely, because it's a lonely life, as I said last week, and I'm kind of getting on now. I'm not going to go looking for love, but if one day I find it, or I find a companion or somebody who I definitely don't want to live with anybody. Not right now, not for a long time. You know, I want my own space. I enjoy my apartment. I enjoy the peace and quiet, the no hassle, going out to 7-Eleven, getting a bottle of milk in the morning. I really enjoy it. And the last thing I want to do is have somebody live with me. But it would be nice sometimes to have somebody you could say, when they finish work, come and we'll have a pizza, or do you want to go down to Jump Team for the weekend, or, you know, just some nice girl for some nice company. But one thing I'll definitely do, I've not told anybody this until now, I'm going to let it out the bag now. You know, I always talk about trolls and people who have got it in for you. When I was in Thailand, it started about 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago. Some scumbag out there, actually, you won't believe this. This actually happened to me. It started 2 months ago. Okay. So the reason I'm going to tell you this is because if I do ever find a girlfriend, I'm never going to introduce her on YouTube. I'm never going to, I'm never going to film her. I won't show her face, because there's some nasty, nasty people out there, really nasty. Now, this is something that happened to me. You won't believe it. When I tell you what somebody went to the trouble to do, you'll think, what, why, you know, as much as somebody might hate me or dislike me or whatever, for me personally, I'm giving a bit of a lead in now, right? For me personally, if I look at a YouTube channel, I think the guy's a dick, I don't like him, I just move on. I think I don't like him, I'm watching another channel. That's it, end of, right? Believe it or not, this actually happened to me, right? Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times while I was in Bangkok, okay? Somebody got my, it's not hard to find my name and address, right? Because I had businesses here, so you can go onto Google, find out where I live. I often hint in the area where I live. So they found out where I live. Not a big deal. It doesn't mean they're the biggest detectives in the world. Somebody went to the trouble, okay? This is true. They wrote a letter to my family when I was in Bangkok, and they basically said, Peter's hiding all his money in Thailand. You should get lawyers because you're entitled to 3/4 of it. He's screwing bar girls every night. He's saying personal things about you on his stream. Now, you know I don't say personal things. I talk in a general way, right? So somebody went to the trouble to type all this out, okay? They didn't have the balls to sign it or put their address. It was anonymous, so they signed it out. They typed it up, this stupid letter, put it in an envelope, went to a post office, put a stamp on it, and posted it to my family. Okay, so my family know me for 33 years, right? My kids, I'm their father, right? They're not going to believe anything some dickhead sends an anonymous letter, right? Anyway, they did this 4 times. And my daughter actually laughed at them because they said, one of the letters said, "Did you get my last letter?" And my daughter said, "This person must be really stupid, Dad, because there's no name and address." And they've said this. And I said, "Well, what do you think about the contents of the letter that they sent you?" And they said, "It's stupid," right? So they just thought this person was a dick, right? Anyway, we took the letters to the police, and I was really surprised. I didn't know you could get fingerprints off paper. And I met with, people moan about the police, but they're really good actually sometimes. Do they still call them detectives? The people we sat down and spoke with, they actually said I don't know how they do it, but from the way the letter was written, they felt that it was a woman who wrote it, not a guy. Now, most of the people on this stream are guys, aren't they? Okay, but for some reason, the police think it's a woman and they're able to fingerprint the paper. And I didn't know that. Now, it's still ongoing. Whether they'll get someone, maybe the person hasn't got a record, I don't know. But can you imagine some scumbag out there has typed up a letter who knows nothing about me really, sent it to my family? They could have caused all kinds of issues, right? There is a name for the crime. I can't remember what the police told me, but there is a crime. It's got a name. When you start posting multiple letters harassing people like this woman did, that they think she's a woman, then you are breaking some laws. So I don't know. I mean, I just gave it to them. I said, look, don't worry about it. The main important thing for me is my family kind of laughed it off and thought, same as me, dickhead, right? But just to let you know, that's the sort of people you have to deal with when you're on a forum, right? So with that in mind, if I ever do find a girlfriend or a nice girl, the last thing I'm going to do is say, God, I might say I found a girlfriend and this is how old she is, whatever. There's no way I'm going to film. You know how Bangkok Pat takes his girlfriend out and they do videos and that, and they're a nice couple, and he doesn't do any Monger sort of stuff, so he'll probably fine. But I won't do it because on here, there are people who have just got so much hate in them that they will go out of their way to do things to you. And for somebody to take the trouble to post 4 letters to my family, they didn't hurt us, they didn't hurt my family, but what sort of people are out there, So, anyway, I wasn't going to mention it because it's very negative, and somebody said to me, don't mention it. But, I'm a straight up guy. I like to tell it as it is. I don't want to sort of be a kind of fake. And I'm just sort of telling you about the life, how it's going now. And this really happened to me. And I think it's important to share it with you, just so you know that it's, I know who this is. Anyway, we'll end that. Now, I recognize that face from somewhere. It's Ladyboys I'm after. Peter's my man. That he's going on a comment. Remember that guy who cloned my channel? That's another dickhead. There's a guy who cloned my channel, made it look like Thailand ban. I was looking at the comments one day, and a comment says something like, how much does it cost in a taxi to get from Bangkok to Pattaya? And it looked like I'd written it. It says, I don't know, but if it's Ladyboys you're into, I'm your man. And all these derogatory comments, like I'd written them. A long story, but anyway, got rid of him in the end. But you've taken that from the Nat and Dave cartoon, haven't you? Putmaster 1, I bet it was Piers Morgan. I don't think he's got the time for it. Where's Appleyard? Narcissistic person hopefully gets caught. Well, I'm amazed. Fingerprints from paper technology. I didn't realize. I mean, probably nothing will happen, but at least they do something about it. Nick, thanks, Nick. Every printer leaves a unique signature so they can track it, and mail fraud is really bad. I'd love it if they caught her, because the first thing they say to me is, do you want to prosecute? And I'd go all the way, really. If it cost me £1,000, 2,000, I would do it, really. They might catch up with them. If they do, watch this space, because you'll hear about it here first. Right, Rumble. Sounds like a Western woman that hates mongers and thinks we take advantage of innocent girls. There was one woman, I'm not going to elaborate on this story because it's about Thailand. It's not about all this. I'm just telling you what happened. But there was a woman who wrote to me and Simon with our full names and a very derogatory. And we looked her up on Company's House and we found her company and we wrote to her. Nothing bad, but we, instead of putting Dear Mary, we put Dear Mary Simmons of whatever chocolate factory, whatever her business was, you know, to kind of do it back to her. We should have just left it. But I think it was her, and the police seem to think they've got a good idea that it was a woman. So it'll be great. You never know. You're not as anonymous as you think you are, you know. And if this woman, if it is a woman, gets a knock on her front door one day, and there's two of the boys in black there, she's going to shit her pants, isn't she? And good. I tell you what, it's really nice to see lots of green names here. When I watch some of the other YouTubers, I see lots of green names because they've got lots of members. And mine are very sporadic, but I see there's quite a few now. That's good. Right, let's see what you lot think about it. We won't go on about this subject anymore. I just wanted to tell you what happens, why I would never put a girlfriend on here, okay? But I'll just take a few comments on this and then we'll move on, okay? Rumble, yeah, I read that one, didn't I? Michael, Peter, that person is somebody you know, just my analyst. You know what? Sometimes when people write comments, you get tempted to write something back to them, you know, and people, it gets them wound up, doesn't it? It could be anything. You could guess about it all night. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. I agree with you. If you go online, you have to deal with it. And that is correct. I'll tell you what, if I could make a video with lots of stories, not as bad as that one, but lots of things have happened to me. And it's like, you know, yeah, you're right. If you want to have if you want to be in a public forum, there are people who are going to watch and think, I like this guy. He's down to earth, makes good videos. I'm going to watch him every week. But you are going to get some people who thinks I hate this guy and I'm going to go out of my way to mess him up. Yeah, no, there was a stamp on it. It says, did you check your camera, Peter? Maybe they delivered it personally. No, there was I won't tell you where the postmarks come. Well, it was a postcard from Sheffield. So obviously they've got in their car and gone to another post office and posted it. It doesn't particularly bother us at all, my family, because they didn't hurt us, but it could hurt them, you know. So let's see. Let's drop that now. Deek the Trucker, I'm colorblind, so where's the green names? Yeah, all it is, Deek, I'm trying to get more members in now for the live streams and members live streams. So I've reduced the price right down, got rid of the expensive membership. And when somebody's a member, their name comes up in green. So, you know, if I tend to kind of, obviously, because they're paying, I tend to kind of notice them more than everybody else, which doesn't mean I ignore everybody else. Right. Is it COL, Cole the Bard? What's your favorite Thai island, Peter? I haven't been to all of them, but Koh Larn's nice, isn't it? Everybody's gone there. It's, you know, near Pattaya, but it is nice. Koh Samui is okay, but it's really small. I'm going to do, you know, it's really a difficult one. Is one of the things I'm thinking is like, okay, when I go to Thailand, I'll do all the islands, film all the islands, but it's been done, hasn't it? So many times, you know. I don't want to not do anything, but on the other hand, I don't want people to look at my videos and think, oh God, another YouTuber on Koh Larn. He must be like the 40th one who's done it. So, you know, but we'll see. I'll get on some of them islands. Mark again, no shortage of haters. It's about 2%, so let it go. Yeah, I have done. I've already let it go, Mark. But the only reason is I thought it'd be an interesting story for people on here because they think they wouldn't believe it. But, you know, yeah, Reggae Vibes, how you doing? Okay, let's go back a bit. Yeah, Real Dutch Frank, a female, yeah. I don't know. I did say yes to you, Nick. Thank you for that super chat. Pupmaster One, Pupmaster One. I'm shocked. Anyone in Sheffield can afford a stamp. I bet it was second class. I don't know. To be honest with you, they read the first one and then they recognised the handwriting on the second and third one. And what my daughter said, I said, well, what did you do? She says, we didn't keep them, Dad. She said, they're rubbish. We just read the first one, knew what it was. And she said, when the second, third and fourth one come, we knew because they looked unusual. We just ripped them up. We didn't even... she read the one that said, did you get my last letter? You know, but other than that, they didn't take a lot of notice. Right, Wayne Ritchie. Hi, Peter. You're a handsome man. I'm sorry I'm late. I love your show. Thank you, Wayne. You need to go to Specsavers, though. Right, Terry Jones. Hopefully you'll be back there for Songkran. Yeah, I don't like going out in Songkran because you get wet, don't you? I do enjoy Songkran. If you go and you think, right, I'm going down to Soi 4, I'm going down to Pat Pong, you got your shorts and your T-shirt, you get one of those electric water guns. It's a great way to spend an afternoon. It's great fun. Everybody's getting soaked. It's a great atmosphere. But, you know, when you've got a nice shirt and trousers on and you're going to Terminal 21 to buy, I don't know, whatever, you don't want to get wet, do you? Because when you go in the aircon, it's freezing when you're wet. But you can't stay in. The real deal. All right, let's do the ladyboy competition, because we've got to kind of sweep this negativity under the carpet now, and we'll do this, and then we'll. How long have we been going? Oh, blimey! You know what? It goes really quick. People say, "How can you talk in front of a camera for 2 hours?" But it just goes so quick. All right, ladyboy competition. Let me just see which one it is this week. Yeah, okay. So there's 7 ladyboys, and there's only one real girl, and I want you to tell me what number is the real woman, not the. I don't want to know who the ladyboys are, because 7 of them. I want to know which one is the real lady. Okay, I just want to say before I start reading the answers, there's a couple of good questions here. One from Rocky Martin Jack and another from Scotty X Jake. So I'll do this competition. I'll try and find them 2 again. And if I don't, guys, put the question up again, because I'd like to get into them and answer them, because they're good questions. Okay, right. So we're looking for the real lady. Let's start off with hopefully a right answer, which isn't a right answer. It's Louis Leisure. Oh, no. Okay, that's not. Matthew Cartwright. No, sorry, Matthew. Paul Hoskins, I will take the lady boys. Yep. George. No, only in Thailand. Oh, we got a right answer already. Only in Thailand. You're doing well tonight. Or was it last week? D&E-san, yes, well done. Mark, no. Kelly, no. Jeff, say no. No name, no. Where's Apple Yard? No. Padmaster General, no. Barang, no. Mike H, no. Wok ATM, yes. Well done to you. Real Rennie, no. Joe Dirt, yes. Morden Like, yes. Blues Trekker, is it? No. Dave Stewart, no. Charles Saunders, no. Biggers Dickers, love that name. No. Darren Howe, no. John Reed, no. Javir, no. Ray, no. Jolly Fox, no. Stephen Forex, no. Mike Oxmouse, yes, well done. Herbert, no. To be, not to be, no. Max Veit, no. Paul Scarf, no. Tonto, no. Yours Travels, no. PA Comanche, no. Mike Benj, no. In Thailand Till I Die, no. David, no. Mike Braithwaite, no. Scott M, no. I'll tell you why I'm laughing later. Graham Hawkes, no. Brian Street, maybe after 5 pints of Guinness, okay. John Quell, no. Bill Mack, no. Pupmaster, no. Rumble, no. The Real Dutch Frang, no. Yes, Matthew, cheers. Moldy Giant, is it? No. Tony7682, no. Gabor Palakas, no. 250cc HD 54, that's the name and a half, isn't it? You got the right answer. Gareth, no. Don 1516, no. Wayne, no. Uncle Nene, no. Scotty X-rated, no. Mr. John, no. Innovations, yes, you got it right. Well done. Lots of answers coming up now. Paul UK, Harvey Wisdom, no. Nick S, no. Deek the Trucker, no. Reggie Vibes, yes. M&G, no answer there. Ellesmere, no. Scott X-rated again, no. Alfreta Jim, no. Sturgeon, right, okay, right answers only now, guys. Oh, Scotty X-rated, you've changed it now, so it's right now, yeah. 3 times you put that. Right, that's it. That's the last one, Naughty Boy, you got it right. Well done to all those who got it right. Let's put you out your misery. Here is the real lady. It's so difficult, isn't it? It's so difficult. All right. So let me get into a couple of good questions now. Now, this first one's from Rocky Martin Jack. I'm not going to go into it in great detail because I've done videos about it, but I'll just basically answer it as quickly and as well as I can. We'll put that up there. You've put, could you explain a little about retirement visa and how that works for benefits? Okay, so a retirement visa, when you initially get it, you'll get 15 months. You have to report every 90 days. The good news about it is you can do it online now. You don't have to go to a police station. And I did it online. It was very, very easy. And they let me know the next day that it had been approved. Other benefits is you don't have to keep going out of the country. You're basically a resident. You're there to on a retirement. You can get it from 50 years up. If you don't want the hassle of doing it yourself and sticking a lot of money in the bank, you can go and see an agent. They'll walk you through it and they'll do all the red tape. It'll be very, very easy, but it'll cost you. It cost me, and you're not buying a visa. You're paying for a service. I want to make that very, very clear, okay? Because you know, you go to immigration, it's only 1,900 baht. That's just for a visa, nothing else, okay? But when I did it through an agent, she opened a Bangkok bank account for me. I got 2 driving licenses, a motorcycle license, and a driving car license, but that was a separate charge. But she got me them. Okay, so I got Bangkok bank account. I got 15 months visa. I got a multiple entry visa. I can come out and go, and I've gone out of the airport and asked immigration, am I okay to come in on this? Yeah. Just open your page for the officer when you come in. Yeah, okay, very good. So I paid 33. Without the multiple entry, it would have been something like 28. There are people who say, don't do it through an agent, do it yourself. It's very cheap. But, you know, you got to stand in lines. You get down to immigration, take a ticket at 6 a.m. One wrong mistake, you got to do the form again. And for me, it's just too much hassle. I'd rather pay an agent. You pay the agent once, it's all done. You've got your bank account, the lot. And then the second year, the price comes down dramatically because the first year you have to get the non-immigrant O visa. You don't need any insurance on that one. I think it's the O anyway. People presume that if you get a retirement visa, you have to have insurance in Thailand, and that's only on some visa. Okay, so that's answered your one. The next one is from Scotty X-Rated. You say, do you watch any other expat YouTube channels here in Thailand? I do, but I don't. There's not any in particular where when they release a new video, I watch it every time. I kind of jump from one to the other, and I tend to watch small bits. I'd say the ones I watch quite regular is I watch Bangkok Pat because he does some very good kind of documentary style videos. And when I get back to Bangkok, you might get a surprise. Two guys that you know, you might see doing another video together. So I watch him. I watch some of Trevor's stuff. Some of Trevor's stuff I'm not really keen on. I don't really like the interviews on. That's not my thing. There's nothing wrong with them, but I like the walkabouts and stuff when they go out, when he goes out on the bike and he visits various places. I find them more interesting. I think everything Patty is very, very good. I watch his stuff. I'm not, I don't think I'm signed up to him, but he does, you know, he does a lot of reviews and stuff. That's not bad. Ride for Kicks, I watch from time to time. Some of his videos are good. There's a guy I've been watching for a long time. It's I forget his name, but it's called something like Retirement Thailand. He's got a little girl and he lives up north somewhere. He's always giving good advice. Who else? I'm not really into the younger guys who they've got big followers, you know, but you know the guys who they start off their videos where the camera's on the floor and they're like, "Hey guys," and they're looking into the camera, and then the camera jumps up here and they're all, you know, hyper. I don't like watching them sort of not criticize them. They're just not the sort of videos I like watching. You know, I like things a bit more calmer. You know, I like to listen to what people are saying. So that's answered those 2 questions. Okay. Right, Chris. I'm going for the LTR visa later this year, annual reporting and 0 tax on foreign income for the section I'm applying for. Yeah, 0 tax if the money's earned outside the UK, but anything you earn in Thailand is taxed at 7%. Be careful on that one. Kapil, how you doing? Oh, as always, late into the stream, but good to have you in. Hi, Wonky Eye. Mark says, person is trying to get out of there to have fun. All right. Yeah, Reggie, somebody's asking where I am, I guess. Yeah, I'm in the UK through no choice of my own. I am a victim of circumstances, they say. Donald Parson. Hey, Peter, you in UK still? Don Los Angeles. Yeah, no, I am in the UK, and it's bloody awful. We've had 2 days of snow blizzard. I woke up this morning, I opened the blind. Luckily, I woke up before my wife. She's in another room, right, obviously. And it was a blizzard. It was literally a blizzard, and the snow was probably that 4 or 5 inches. And unfortunately, when you come out of our house, there is a hill, not a steep hill, but she's got a Mercedes back wheel drive. And when years ago, I had a Mercedes E-Class, an older one, you know, But what I used to do, I used to put 2 paving slabs in the boot, one over each wheel arch, because I just couldn't get up in snow with the paving slabs. I got out. So I woke up this morning, I looked out the window, and I thought, she's never going to get, she has to go to work, right? And I thought, she's never going to get out of here in that murk with a back wheel drive. And my daughter's got a little Skoda Fabia 1.2, which I gifted her when she passed the test. And I said to my wife, I said, look, I'm going to take you. You won't get out. And she's like, no, I'll be okay. And I said, you won't. I said, if you start slipping and sliding, you can't get up the hill. I said, I'm not dressed to come out and start pushing cars, but, I can put a jacket on. And I said I had a T-shirt and shorts from sleeping. I didn't even brush my teeth. But I said to her, look, I can put a jacket on, I can drive you. And, the trick is when you're going uphill in a manual car is to keep it in second gear and keep the momentum going. If you see a car slowing down to turn and you would have to stop, just wait at the bottom of the hill. And then once you start, keep the momentum going, keep it in second gear. You won't slip so much. And we got out. And of course, when I went to pick her up this evening, it was bright sunshine and all the snow was gone. I've had that 2 days in a row. Crazy stuff. Deke, the trucker, number 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, coming to Hole's room near you. Okay. Randy says, great background music. That isn't by accident, Randy. I tend to use only YouTube's library of music now, but it takes hours and hours and hours to find good tracks. Like, my opening track, I really like the opening music on my stream, and the last one where the girls like, hurry back, well, I miss you, whatever it is. Hours of searching through all the rubbish on YouTube, and I find 1 or 2 tracks that I tend to use quite often because they're quite nice, like the ones I've used on the competition, but there is a lot of awful stuff out there as well. Mark, I'm 68. Do you think I can make my 50-year visa? Oh, definitely, Mark. A young 58. David, I have missed the snow. I've missed the snow near Brighton on the East Coast. Yeah, it wasn't everywhere. We had it really heavy. Well, I say really heavy, probably 4 or 5. I mean, it looks nice. I said it really early in the stream. I live, there's a pocket park in front of my house where the dog walkers go. And it was all the branches were covered in snow. It was like, honestly, it was like a chocolate box from Christmas. Beautiful, beautiful, but not for driving in. Paul, my stream has froze when Peter starts talking about 4 or 5 inches. Okay. It's for you, Matthew. Cheers. Mike H. How long has the house sale been going on? Seems like ages since the process. Yeah, it has. But that's the UK. I was talking to a friend, American friend of mine in Bangkok, a guy called Bob, and he said he just can't understand it. In America, it takes simply weeks, not months. This has been going on since just before October. It's just so slow. I haven't had any real problems. The guy who's buying my house, his first buyer pulled out because they basically shit themselves when all the rates went up. But the buyer he got straight away. It just delayed the mortgage by a month. But any day now, I want the dates. You can't believe how frustrating it is. I've got a life in Bangkok. I've got my apartment there that's been paid for. I've got all my 55-inch TV, everything, my oven, everything I bought. I'm all set up really nice in a good area. I just want to get back there and get my life back again because I'm in the UK, an open prison, isn't it? It's nothing. I don't want to be here. But you've got to wait it out. Did I say hi to you, Perbert, new member? Perbert, not pervert. Pervert. Good to have you, and we'll see you in the member streams first week of January. Right, Louis Leisure sounds neat. Matthew Cartwright, real Dutch Farang, 8921. Cheers, Dutch. Okay. Yeah, okay. So Dutch Frank says, if you watch all videos of everything Pattaya, you have seen the whole of Pattaya. Well, this is it. I mean, because he's based there, it's always hard to come up with new content, but he's done quite well, hasn't he? So if there's a newbie going out there and they watch all his videos, they've pretty much got it sewn up, haven't they? They know what it's all about. Right, Don 1516. Hi, Peter. Will you miss the UK supermarkets when you stay permanently in Bangkok? Not really. You can get most of the stuff there now. I go to a place called Villa. It's expensive, but like I said to you last week, you can get in a lot of the other supermarkets like Robinsons and things. You can get things like cans of tuna and bread and your normal sort of things. But the thing about Villa supermarket, they're all over Thailand. But I go to the one on Sukhumvit Soi 33. I take the train down to the Emporium station. And then I walk back. There's a great little Thai restaurant I always go to there, really good. And then I go to the Emporium. And I generally spend about 4,000 baht, £100, and that lasts me for 10 days, which is quite expensive. But the sort of things they sell there that you can't get anywhere else. They do, I mean, not that I live on pot noodles, but you can get English pot noodles like you can get here. You can get Branston pickle, HP daddy sauce, sourdough bread, all the vegetables and lettuces, and you can get McCain baked potatoes. You can get all the nice sliced hams and all the meats. They've got something like 30 different cheeses. You get the picture. They do everything, near enough everything. You can even get Marmite. And I go there, and I'll go there about every 10 days. I'll spend £100. They box it up for me, and for 90 baht they deliver it. So I go off. I go back to my apartment. About an hour later, they deliver it, and they're really good. Anything that's cold, like I buy chicken and mushroom pies, quarter pounder burgers with sesame buns. I just put that all in the freezer. If I fancy a quarter pounder with cheese, I'll just get it out of the freezer, microwave the bun, fry the burger patty, slice of cheese, maybe some McCain oven chips, or I'll have chicken and mushroom pie and mashed potatoes and peas. I'll get Bristol gravy from Villa. So it's all there. And you don't have to eat chicken fried rice on the street every night. If you live there, you can do it. And as far as missing the supermarkets in the UK, there's I can't think of anything that I want here that I can't get in Thailand. I can get it all now. And the most frustrating thing about the supermarkets that used to be that, but is no longer frustrating, is when you picked up products. Sometimes you get foreign products that aren't. Like, say, if you want to buy mushrooms, a can of mushrooms, there's no point buying imported English mushrooms, can of mushrooms that will cost you 120 baht, because you'll get a Thai, the exact same quantity of mushrooms, tin mushrooms in a can, but it's made in Thailand, and it's 26 baht as opposed to 110 baht. But what's really good now, you could never read the label, but now I've got the app, the Google app, and it's got a camera function on, and you hold it against the label, and it actually translates it into English. So if you want to know how much sugar it's got on it, or what this washing powder is used for, or anything like that, you can read it all now, and it's come on such a long way. So for anybody going out to Thailand now, it's not such a hardship. I still remember 31 years ago when I first got there, you couldn't get nice cheeses. You just couldn't buy cheese. You couldn't buy all them products I've just mentioned. You ran around, you got one or two bits and pieces, but you had to kind of adapt, which isn't a bad thing, but it's a lot easier than it used to be. And they do deliveries now. And also, if you don't feel like going out, they deliver everything. Some nights I'll be working on the computer in my apartment and I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like going up. I just pick up the apps, Let's Eat, something like that. I'll get myself a nice big pizza. It comes in 30 minutes. They'll ring me up. I'll go downstairs and collect it. Brilliant. 10 quid, £10. Excellent. Right, Reggae Vibes. Sound like I work for TAT, don't I? The Thailand Tourism Authority. I don't, but it is that good now. Yeah, thank you for that, Reggae. Is it Reggae Vibes or Reggae Vibes? I think it's Reggae Vibes. Nice super chat there. Right, Mike Cusworth. Oh, you've gone. Where are you? I think you said I'm from Australia first time. Okay, we'll put you up there and I'll say good evening to you, Mick. Welcome. I think I'm nearly done. It's over 2 hours now. We'll keep it going for a little while longer. Who remembers Presto supermarkets? Not me, Dick. I've not ever heard of them. Where are they? In the UK? Donald says, I like independent international shops for different foods. Okay. The brilliant thing about Bangkok is the other thing I mentioned before as well, you have Lazada, which is very much like Amazon, something like that. And it comes up in English as well if you want to, it's not all in Thai. Sometimes you press English and half of it's in Thai, but you get the gist of it. But it's a lot cheaper to buy things off there than it is in Villa, for instance, like the import supermarkets. So what I tend to do, they have got all their food items. So they'll sell dry and tin foods that keeps a long time. So things like HP beans, Branston pickle, HP sauce, tomato ketchup, you can get it in 7-Eleven, 33 baht for a bottle, no problem. But there's certain things you can buy online that you can get in Lazada, and they'll deliver it, and it's very, very cheap. The delivery's included in it. So what I tend to do, I'll spend an hour, I think, I'll do some food shopping for stuff that I'm not going to eat necessarily straight away. So I'll buy pasta and spaghetti and bottles of tomato sauce that you'd mix meat in with it, HP beans, Rice Krispies, cornflakes, all that sort of thing. It'll all be delivered. You can order one of everything. You don't need to order a lot. It's all from different places. And it turns up every time you go down to your post, there's a little parcel there. You get upstairs and, oh, my beans have come, or 2-pot noodles have come. So that's a cheaper way to do it. But then, of course, when you want to buy some nice cheese, some really nice sliced ham, some fresh tomatoes, iceberg lettuce, I try to get the greens. as maybe a Caesar salad. They do all this stuff. Then you go and get that from the supermarket and refrigerate it. And when they deliver it, they put it in they've got like bags of crushed ice that they have one bag that will have all your margarine, butter, whatever, your cheese, and they put that in there. And then the other things. Like I love bread. I love sourdough bread, and they do loaves that aren't too big, maybe 10 inches long by about 5 inches wide. And I get 5 of them at a time, and I just put them in the freezer, and I'll keep one out. And it's not as nice as fresh bread in the UK, which is really fluffy and fresh, but it's sourdough fresh bread that's cooked on site. You can get it in Robinson's as well, but I tend to buy the bread in bulk, because I get through it quite quickly. Right, okay. Okay, right, Mark. Right, may I ask you what is your monthly pension? Well, I'm not actually on a pension, Mark. The problem is in the UK, you're not eligible for your old age pension until you're 78. I don't have a company pension because although I spent a lot of time in the hotels, I actually I changed companies a few times, and I left to do some business with Simon in Thailand. I've got some property that I rent out. I've always been very shrewd with money. And I've always worked hard all of my life. I haven't pissed it up against the wall, not all of it anyway. And so I've got income coming in from some property that I rent out. Nothing much, but it's okay. And I could live in Thailand just off that. YouTube helps a lot as well, because I keep saying, you don't get huge amounts of money from YouTube, but what I do get gives me, it just gives me a better lifestyle. I can afford to go out more than I would do if I didn't have YouTube. And don't forget, I have invested in a little bit in Simon's business as well, which will reap, that will start to reap rewards in about 3 months' time for everybody who's invested, and that's an ongoing thing. We get a payout every 3 months. So I've got that. I've got the houses, and by the time I get to 68 and the pension's eligible, now in the UK government, they'll probably change it and make it 75. And I'll kick my clogs before I actually get it. Right, right. Peter's my man. Hey, Peter. You might want to keep an eye on Vampire Girl. She could very well be the one that sends those letters. Try feeding her a little extra. Okay, all right, we won't go there. Right, Nick S. Samsung or same song? All right. Do you know what Samsung means? Obviously, I've got a Korean wife, and Samsung is a Korean brand. Samsung actually means 3 stars. I don't speak Korean. I did ask her. That's all. Sam is 3 and Sung is star. So yeah, a little bit of trivia there. Samsung 3 stars. Okay. Right, who's giving me that super chat that I've missed? Dan 1560, €6, a couple of oldie beers. Thank you, Don. I can't see that to put on the screen. Oh, there we are. Okay, yeah, brilliant. Right, yeah, I've said that wrong. Not 78. In Thailand till I die, 78. When that, I think I meant 68. You're eligible for your guys are anyway eligible for their pension when they're 68, not 78. Thank you for pointing that out. David says 67. Okay, well, I thought it was 68. So, all right, let's say 67/68 and leave it there because I don't want to get into a great pension debate. Obviously, the 78 was a slip of the tongue. Louis Leisure. Peter, out of those places, where would you say is the best? Russia, Karat, I can't pronounce half of them. I will be based in one of these 5 months. Well, some of these I haven't actually been to. I'm not keen on up north. If I didn't live in Bangkok, I would like to live in a coastal town. I just think it's nicer. Hua Hin, Jomtien, Bang Shui, up north a little bit. Those sort of places. I lived in Khon Kaen for 2 years. It's okay, but it wasn't for me. And the places that you've just put out there, they wouldn't suit me. I know where they are. Obviously, Karat's way up there in the north. Yeah, they're just not my sort of places, to be honest with you. I'm not criticizing them, but I can't give you a choice. 1 or 2 of them I don't know. I haven't been to. Barry Cox, is Simon still looking for investors? He isn't right now because Site 1's actually full, and I'm going to do a 3rd video when I go back because that business has been growing really, really quickly, and he's got quite a few investors. So they're just negotiating at the moment on Site 2. Well, they've got it basically. Site 2 is a huge, huge factory, or was a factory building that they're going to buy outright. And they're actually pretty full now in Site 1. I was talking to him the other day, but give it another month and he'll be looking for investors for the 2nd site. But what I'm going to do when I go back, because apparently it's changed so much. I made one video when they started the factory. I went back and did another video about 3 months ago where they were building everything for the grow rooms and you know, all the Chang, the workers were all out there full speed. And Simon said to me, you won't believe it when you come back what it looks like now, you know, all the plants and everything. So when I get back, and I've been back a week, I'll go and film another week, and then probably the investment side of it. Obviously, he will be looking for investors, but I don't think right now, because the site one is actually full now. You know, a lot of people have invested, and it's not because I forgot what I was going to say there. It's not because he doesn't want investors. It's just because that site is actually full. So obviously, I'm working very closely with Simon to promote it as well, to help him out. I know what I was going to say to you. The reason why he's taking investors and he's not doing it himself, because don't forget he had his steel factory which turned office blocks and things into toilets. He can just progress it very much faster with investment, and everybody's going to do hopefully well from it. I had a guy leave a comment on one of the videos I made, and he said, "Oh yeah, this guy, he's promoting a cannabis factory with unreal returns, and he used to promote crypto." I've never had anything to do with crypto. I don't know where these guys come from, and I don't know about unreal returns. Simon actually gives a really good white paper business plan, which guarantees 60% of your money back if it all goes tits up, which it won't. No business is guaranteed, but it's a really good investment. Anyway, I'm not here to sell his factory. Okay, Reggae Vibes again says that Bob Marley said he wanted to inject love into the hearts of people through music. Okay, most of the guys on here do want to inject love, but it's not through music, I don't think. Okay, only in Thailand, 20 Rothmans. We had 4 seasons in one day in London. I paid £6.80 for a pint. Sod that. Answer, I have found a great pub restaurant, live music in Bangkok, and large Leo's, only 100 baht. Yeah, when I was in Hua Hin, I went to the night market. Now, it's not a market in the sense of you buy clothes and all that. It's a massive, massive place that has a live band, not too loud, and it's a huge place and have stalls all the way around. You can buy everything: chicken, pizza, seafood. They have a couple of bars where you can buy drinks. And I went there for a meal and a few drinks. I was paying, what was it now? 40 baht for a small bottle of Chang and 55 baht for a big one. You don't get any better than that. I mean, I think they're dearer than that in 7-Eleven, aren't they? How much are they? I don't know. But that's cheap. Our arrangement was financial. When do the members only streams start? Well, I'm trying to build it up at the moment. There's a lot of people joined over the last couple of months, couple of weeks, because I've been pumping it, you know, advertising it, and I've brought the price right down to $4.99. But in answer to your question, I think realistically, probably the first week in April. Some people will get pissed off because basically I've been going for over 2 hours now. What I'm going to be doing is I'll do an hour and I'll say, right, that's it. I'll be back in 15 minutes. If you've got a membership, you can come back in. If you haven't, then that's your lot. Some people just don't want to pay anything. You know, they want everything for free. That's fine. That's their decision. But it will be good because I want to bring people into the stream rather than me just sitting here talking to you and doing these competitions. We can talk about things, and if somebody wants to talk about something, then I'll bring them in, have a chat with them, and you know, we'll see how that goes, and kick him out, and we'll bring somebody else in. Okay, Steve. It depends when you were born in regards to pension age. Be 70 for me. I think you're right. I remember, that's why the figure of 68 comes up for me. I'm pretty sure it's 68, but I haven't paid in full contributions. I actually looked at it last week, and it said I was entitled to about, wasn't a lot. It's something like £144 a week, but I could pay extra into it. I'll have to look into that anyway. We'll see. The Wutong Life. The girls are still trying to trap guys. I just got back from Thailand and have been hit up at least 10 times for money. They say, I love you so much. It's their job. That's what they do. It's like going into a garage and being shocked that they fix cars. You know, I mean, you've got to expect it, haven't you? You just got to know how to handle it. Right, Dean San, if I had to do it again, I would decide to live in Rayong. Rayong's nice. That's it's east of Pattaya, about an hour. It's a nice place, but a bit quiet for me. Cha'am's a nice place as well. Like I've always said lots of times, Patya's, there's nothing like Pattaya. It's wild, but if you want something a little bit calmer, I've always said Hua Hin is a great town. Right. Okay, Mark says, Peter, with respect, find a nice 40-year-old lady there. You will be happy until the end. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I'm not, like I said, I'm not dismissing anything. I'm not going to be out mongering for sure. and I'm not going to be looking for anything. But you know, I speak a little bit of Thai, and I have contact with friends who have got girlfriends, wives who have got girlfriends, things like that. And you know, if I meet somebody, I'm not looking for it, but if I do, then I'm certainly not going to be dating a bar girl. Nothing against bar girls, but not for me. No, thank you. You know, I'll go with the flow. I'll see how it goes. You know, I mean, I've still got hot red blood going through my veins. I'm not finished yet. Right. Morning to walking in my shoes. How you doing? Good morning. Who we got here? David again. I would love to join you, Buzzing Patty, Ed Sweeney's rooms, but at £5 UK or like each, I cannot afford. You mentioned this last week. I mentioned this, that you said that somebody. Let me just read this. I'll tell you what they said. Cannot afford a month being on Universal Crescent. It's too much with my bills, etc. So I discussed this with somebody last week. I said, oh, there was a guy called David in the stream, and we were talking about memberships, and you know, we were sort of saying, well, a fiver's not a lot, is it really? And I said, well, there was a guy who came in and said he was on Universal Crescent, and £4.99 would like hurt his pocket. He can't afford it. And the guy I was speaking to, he said, no, he's just winding you up. But I do believe you, actually. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted to join 2, 3 of them, I understand. But like I said to you, David, you've been in here a long time, and you know, if I could give out free memberships, I'd give you one. But YouTube, they don't allow it because they'll lose their cut then, right? The only way you can get a membership is to buy it. Even for me, if my, not that they would, but if my daughters wanted to be members, they'd have to buy it because you just cannot give free ones. If YouTube think they're losing that money, then that's it. Forget it. No, I don't believe that. Lee Hughes says, if you neglect or reduce your offering, you will lose subs. Well, I'm not reducing anything. There'll be a short. Well, what about everybody else who's doing it? They're not losing subs. You know, I mean, no, I completely disagree with that. Our arrangement was final. Yours Traveller, I'm a doc and expect for a broken leg or similar, I would go to a doc if I was sick. All right. Steve, sorry, 30 years NI needed for full pension. Yeah, because I was out a lot of the time. Okay, Mark, no problem. Yeah, okay. Gifted memberships is a thing, but it's a luck of the draw who gets them. Yeah, I have seen a guy like Capio gifted about 20 memberships one week. So, but you can gift them, but you have to buy them. So if Capio, whoever it was a guy last week who gifted 5 memberships because somebody left a comment and said, whoever bought me a membership, thank you. But what he's done, he's gone in and spent £25 and bought 5 memberships and gifted them. Yeah, you can't give them free. Louis Lewis, okay, I read that one. Right, Mr. Bullet. It's minimum of 10 years NI and 34 full percentage between the two. Okay, right. Where are we? Right, guys, 2.25 hours. I'm nearly there. Let me do the second showing of the Monger Minute, new Monger Minute tonight. We'll do this. I'll take a couple more comments and then I'm going to call it a day. Don't forget, I will be back on Sunday at the earlier time of 9 p.m., which I do enjoy because it's a much more casual stream. I've got a lot to do tomorrow, so 2.25 hours. Let me whack this on for you, then I'll be back and we'll do a few more comments. think that was quite a good Monger minute this week. Every single one of them are Thai. Okay, let's see what you're saying there. I'm just trying to find a comment where you're not saying hello to each other. Right, old fogey. Great Monger minute. Do those girls know they're on your show? They probably don't know they're on my live stream, but they're actually performing for cameras, aren't they? And where I get them from, without giving too much away, I'm not kind of technically stealing them, if that makes sense. Yeah, okay, we'll read that one. Right, someone's giving me a nice super chat there. Let me just say thank you to Stephen 4X. Again, very generous. You can only gift 1 month's membership. It's up to them to continue to pay. That's right. Afterwards or not. Assume most won't, as they'll likely already be members if they're, I think you mean not willing to pay. Yeah, so that's a good point. That is correct. So anybody can go in and gift members. So if I wanted to spend money on another stream, I could buy 2-3 memberships and give them to somebody, but they only last for a month and then they'll run out unless that person continues. I noticed that when Capio bought 20 members, he bought 20 memberships. He just gave them out willy-nilly. And I think 2 or 3 people maximum continued and the rest just let them run out. But thank you for that. Jeff says white bikini. Yeah, very good. Okay, we're nearly there. Right, blue trick, new Thai cocktail, geek on the rocks. Okay, Scotch and Viagra. Okay, yeah, like it. Right, let me just get rid of this. Okay, we're nearly there, I think, aren't we? Yeah, I think you must have come in late. What's the latest on the members only streams? I'm just building up the members at the moment. I think we're looking at the first week in April. They won't be on separate days. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the regular Friday and Sunday while I'm here in the UK. I hope I won't be here by then. I'll do new times. But what I'll do is I'll do my regular stream, but it'll probably be an hour. I'll cut it and then go into the members stream 15 minutes later. That's what everybody else does. Yeah, no, that's nice of you, Nick. Nick says, yeah, I don't think Capio's in anymore. He kind of does brief kind of visits. He jumps in and jumps out again. But he says, I continued. Thanks, Capio. Yeah, so you got gifted a membership and you kept it going as well. Let's see, any more interesting ones before we go? Javier, the Wutong life, absolutely, mate, especially the bank accounts. Yeah, protect your bank account, guys. Protect your bank account, guys. Think with the right heads. Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, it's like, I know a lot of guys who they do give money to girls and they're not stupid. They're not mugs. They're not getting ripped off. They just like to help them. I think that, you know, when I've met a lot of guys through this channel now, and there's a lot of guys, what they'll do, they'll help girls out. So, you know, yeah, they're working and they see them regularly and they know what these girls are about. But a girl, maybe she'll get her phone bill in or electric bill. She needs them out, and the guy says, look, here's a couple of $1,000. And he's not being a mug. He's just, you know, it's not his girlfriend, but he'll see her every time he comes to Thailand, or they keep in touch. And she kind of becomes a friend. He knows what she's doing, but she's also a friend. And he, you know, it's like, yeah, go on then. I'll pay the 1,500 baht water, electric bill. I'll pay it. And I do know a lot of people do that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that if you can afford it. You know, helps people out, doesn't it? Right, Matthew Cartwright. You're always going on about the bloody whiskey, Matthew. Where are we? Have a shot of whiskey, Peter, and do another hour. I will crack open another bottle of red. I don't think I could do another hour. I get very tired now, Matthew. I don't know. It's because I had COVID a couple of times, and I'm a bit overweight now. And you know, I haven't got the best mood being here in the UK. And I've seen a lot of other YouTube streamers. They do an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes, and then bang, that's it, gone. At least I tried to do a couple of hours. I did 3 hours last Friday, but I'm really tired because I woke up early to take the wife to work, and Sunday's the day after tomorrow, so we can do some more there. Mazza, thank you, mate. I'm glad your family didn't believe the BS. Good idea doing the members only stream. I'll sign up shortly. Here's a few quid towards your lunch. Yeah, thank you, Mazza. Yeah, just on that thing really quickly. Yeah, I mean, you know, why would they believe some stranger as opposed to the girls to their dad or my wife? You know, I said to my wife, you know, I haven't got any money to hide in Thailand, have you? She's like, yeah, I know. Anyway, right. I have got money in Thailand because I've got a Bangkok bank account, but I told her about it. She knows about it. Right, Charles Sanders, thank you for that. There'd be no point in doing it if nobody enjoyed it. Kappa C, first time I'll catch you live. Cool. Okay, Kappa, thank you. I've been going 2 hours, 22 minutes now. So you're late in, but there's another one on Sunday, 9 p.m. UK time, which is a lot more of a relaxed stream. Big time 911. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, somebody said to me a while ago, it's a great idea. They said, why don't you, because I've been doing the Monger Minute for about 22 weeks now. And somebody said, why don't you do a video like you did with the Nat and Dave and do like a 1 hour Monger Minute? But it wouldn't work. You know why? Because it only works because of that backing track. Because I tried changing that music to something else and it just wasn't the same. It's like, you know, I listened to it, I think, oh, it's getting old hat now. I better change the music, like bring it back to life. But nothing works because that music, you know, even for me now, if I went into a bar in Thailand or something and I heard that music, the first thing I'm going to think is Monger Minute. And I've had guys send me YouTube videos where that music's in the background, some guys on a skateboard or something, that music in the background. He said, first thing I was watching, I was thinking, it's the Monger Minute, you know. So I don't think it'd work because that song's only about 3 minutes long, that track. And if it was for an hour, how would I do it? You know, what music would I put on it? But I'll give that another rethink, I think. The Real Dutch Vrang, 35cl whiskey. What's mine's a 35cl, but I only drink a drop. I'm not, you know, you think I'm an alcoholic. I don't drink in the day at all. That, my rule is down to the white label if I'm at home doing a stream. You see the white label there? It's co-op whiskey. When it gets nearly there, I'll have a tiny bit more. Not the bottom of the white label, the top of the white label. I used to be a really heavy drinker when I lived in, you're still in, Cappy. I thought you disappeared. Can't give memberships now. Did you delete that option, Peter? No. YouTube, I don't know. I mean, you know, I keep meaning to, I don't know how we can meet up online, Cappy. And I even know your name on Facebook. Brian Flowers told me, but I've got a memory like I said. But I'd love to have a chat with you one day online like this, and you could fill me in on this stuff. Because I spend so much time preparing stuff for YouTube, I don't have time to actually go in and read stuff like this. So that would be interesting. Okay. Right, Dutch Frank, get into the member stream side of the game questions. Yeah. I don't want to go on about it too much because it sounds like I am really pushing it. I'll be honest with you, because if I do a stream, I want to have a lot of people in there, you know, and if it's members, it'll be more, we can be a little bit more liberal, or is it conservative? Not liberal, a bit more conservative. Right, I think that's probably it. Deep the trucker, to be registered at a UK address, and you need to be paying council tax at that address. I don't think you do, because what you can do, I hear what you're saying, but there is a way around that. You can say you're a lodger at somebody's address. So if you've got, say, a sister or a brother or somebody you can use their address, you can say you're a lodger. Then you're not responsible. In the UK I'm talking about, you're not responsible. The person who pays the rent or the mortgage is responsible for council tax, and the council presume that if you're a lodger, that would be you would be paying for that room as a lodger, and that would all be calculated in. So the way around that is to just say, here's my address, but I'm a lodger here, you know, and then you've still got a footprint here in the UK, but you're not eligible for council tax. Right, David, when you did your 5-hour stint with Ed, it was great, but I bet it took a lot out of both of you, including the drinking. Yes and no, because the thing is, Ed was great to do the streams with. I don't know what happened to me. He let rip on that video, and I don't know. I haven't contacted him since, and whatever. People sort of thought I'd upset him, but apparently I found out since it was I won't tell you, Tommy, but it was a bunch of people who upset him at the same week. And it's a shame, really, because we did a couple of streams and they were really good. People enjoyed them. That 5-hour stream, it just went so quickly because, you know, he'd do a bit, I'd do a bit. We were drinking, and yeah, by the 5th hour, I was feeling a bit pissed, to be honest with you. I drank a lot, but it was still okay. I don't know. You know, people are strange, aren't they? You know, they all, you know, you can never judge somebody. Hi, Peter. Any plans to visit Pattaya when you arrive back? Oh, lots and lots, Mark. I love Pattaya. I couldn't live there, but I do like to go down there. And the good thing for me, where I live, jump on the BTS on Sukhumvit, 5 stops down to the north terminal for the bus at Edkamaya, 131 baht on an air-cooled blue bus. They go every 30 minutes. Straight down to the north terminal again in Pattaya, a boat taxi to the hotel, cheap as chips, easy to do. And yeah, I don't go out. Well, I do go out, but I don't go down there for the go-go bars specifically. What I like to do is I like to rent a scooter. I like to buzz about around the beach in the day. I do love going over to Jump Team and sitting on them deck chairs till about 6 at night. and then coming back and eating some real nice food, seafood or something. And it's very relaxing, is it? Let's face it, you know, sitting on a beach and in the warm, you know, with those umbrellas, I mean, it's brilliant, brilliant. Right. Jamie296, don't worry about repeating the music on the Monger Minute on YouTube. There are 10-hour videos. I'm already Tracer. Okay. Yeah, that kind of wound me up a little bit when I first got down to Pattaya it was October, because I was there for 5 months. When I bumped into a few people and they were like, "Oh, how did you upset him? What did you say to him?" And I'm like, "Ask him, don't ask me, because I don't know. You know, as far as I know, I'm an innocent man in all of this. You know." And people were saying, "What did you do? What did you do?" And I'm like, "I didn't do anything." You know, right. Oh, Capacity says, "I'm going to Pattaya for the first time in June. Can't wait." Yeah, you know what I'd say to you, if it's your first time, try to check out Soy Bacau area first, because it's a lot of action along. Obviously, Walking Street's busy as well, but Soy Bacau, it's a lot busier than the kind of beach side of things these days. There's a lot of good places to go to. You'll enjoy it. Yeah, I know, Michael. I know it's an old mafia saying there. You know, when you know, I've been going on vacation on holiday there for years and years and years. But when you actually live there, you do get into much more of a routine, and it is a nicer. It is nicer. When I first moved into my apartment and I walked up the street, the bars and there's a couple of like massage places, there's some restaurant, there's some bars in the evening. And when I used to walk, the first kind of week or so, the girls would be like, "Hello, come on," you know, and they're waving in the bar and all this. They know me now because I've been walking up and down that soy for the last 5 months, and now they just smile, or even some of the girls in the restaurants, they wave at me, but they know I'm not, you know, I'm not. Occasionally I'll go in and have a burger, or I think, oh, I don't want to cook it. I want to go and have a real nice steak and ale pie or something like that. And I will go in, you know, but when you live in a place, you get your routine going. You find these little hidden away gems that are cheaper than the sort of main tourist places. You find other things to do. And the Thais do notice you. You know, when you live there, they do notice you. Even the taxi drivers and the tuk-tuk drivers, where you go, tuk-tuk, where you go. Mind your own business. Even them now, they ignore me, you know, because they know I'm not going to get in their tuk-tuk. You know, I mean, they know me. I'm kind of like local to that area now. Right, Matthew, I will definitely join it if you crack on the whiskey on the member stream. Oh, of course, it's going to be a very relaxed stream, Matthew. The whole point of a member stream, I keep saying, the whole point of it, it's a community, because everybody is signed up. They're all in there together. We all know each other. I can bring people in. I could bring you in, Matthew. I can say, come on, come in, tell us who you are, where you're from, even if you're in for 5 minutes. And it's going to be laid back a lot more, you know. I do enjoy these streams, but everybody's doing the member streams now, so why not? Why shouldn't I do? Jamie296, we've said that one already, right? God, the time flies. I said like 5 minutes past, we'll call it a day, and it's already 2:30, 2 hours rather. Yeah, okay, good, Kappa. And if you wear gold, be careful if you're walking along the beach road at night, especially with the lady boys. Okay. The Wutong Life, girls in Pattaya are not asking to pay a water or electric bill. They're asking for rent money. Hell no, I will do that. Well, it's up to the individual, isn't it? You know, I mean, you know what they're all about. If you meet a girl and she's a nice girl, I didn't say a faithful girl, she's a nice girl. Some of them are real nice characters, and you enjoy your time with her, and she wants a little bit of help, and you can afford it. Why not? Why not? Right, Jamie296, Peter, do you have to run the aircon overnight while sleeping when at home in Bangkok? When I am just on holiday in the hotel, I do, but I wonder if you acclimatise. That's a good question, actually, because I was just starting. Well, not starting. I was well into it. After 5 months. I was really climatized, and how do I know that? Because when I got back to the UK, I was really, really cold, and my daughter said, "It's not that cold, Dad," and I was like, "I'm freezing. I'm freezing." And what had happened? You know, when we used to laugh when 22 degrees, you see a Thai with a coat on, sitting on the till on the cash register, shivering, and we'd be laughing and think, "This is lovely. Look, she's cold." Ha ha ha. Well, the table turned, because that's what happened to me. I did acclimatize, and I came back here, and I was absolutely freezing. I'm just now starting to, after 2 weeks, starting to get a little bit used to it. But yeah, I got to the point where I've never not been able to sleep with the aircon on. I always need the aircon on for sleeping, because otherwise you do start getting sticky in the night, and it's not nice. You want to be cool when you sleep, have a good night rest, okay? But I was getting to the point where when I lived there years ago, what I'd do is in the daytime, I'd have those fans, you know, those big sweeping fans, because what happens with the aircon when you get it, you get too cold, you know, and the lowest setting you can put it on is 32. And I was having the aircon on 32 and it was still cold. So what I'd planned to do was go to Tesco Lotus and buy a couple of big fans, one for the bedroom, one for the lounge. And when I'm working in the bedroom, I'd have a fan sweeping back and forth, but I'd have a vest on or something, or no top, and that's good enough. But when you sleep, I think you definitely have to, I think you definitely need the aircon when you go to sleep to be comfortable, actually. Right, the real Dutch Frank. Peter, are you cold on the plane? Not particularly, no. They give you blankets anyway, don't they? Right, is that, what's that? Mia Noy, okay, second wife. Use your brain in Thailand, you'll be fine. Been going 3 times a year for 20 plus years and never had a problem. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, isn't it? I mean, everybody makes videos, 20 scams in Thailand, 20 things not to do. Pretty much if you're a sensible person, you keep your sensible head on, nothing will happen to you. You know, the Thais are nice. The girls try and get some money out of you. The tuk-tuk drivers will try and scam you and take you on some tour to buy fake gems and all the rest of it. But, you know, they're not going to hit you on the head with a brick or, you know, hold you up at gunpoint and take your wallet. That just doesn't happen. It's very safe. Okay, I think that's it, guys. I have come to the end of the road, unfortunately. So what I'll do, keep getting them memberships coming in, guys, because I want to get up to 100 before I'm not going to have that as a bent. I have to have 100 before I start, but it'd be nice to start with 100. But I'm going to call it a night for now. Thanks for joining me again, to everybody. All those names I mentioned earlier, and of course the super chats. Thanks for that, guys. All the guys who bought a membership. I don't know if we had anybody in moderating tonight, but if we did, thank you to them. And that's pretty much it. So have a good weekend. It's Friday night. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you 9 p.m. right here, as they say, on Sunday night. Okay, thanks a lot, and good night.